Welcome to the Brick Lane pregame show. I'm Michael Marcantonini. He's Josh Berber. We are getting ready for the finale of a four-game set between the visiting Adelaide Giants and your Melbourne Aces. Final Sunday home game of the regular season. Josh, the last two nights have been really exciting here at Melbourne Ballpark. Aces going for 3 straight wins today for just the second time this season. But before we talk about today's game, let's talk about what we saw last night, a 5-4 win for the Aces. Let's start with Steve Kent. He was fantastic. 6 strikeouts in 6 solid innings.
Yeah, 2 home runs in the third. That was really it. Other than that, he was absolutely lights out. Second most strikeouts he's had as a starter this season, and it could not have come at a better time. Aces need every win they can get at this point in the season.
It was Kent's third start of the season. He picked up his first win as a starter. He was fantastic all night. And he had some help on the defensive side. Darryl George was fantastic over at first base. Robbie Glendinning made a really nice play out at shortstop. And overall, the defense behind Kent and the bullpen was fantastic.
Some gold glove stuff from the Aces last night, without question. Darryl George made a bunch of really nice plays at first base. A lot of hard grounders hit over to him, and he made it look really easy. Races to the bag that he won by himself. Nice plays flipping back to the pitcher. I mean, anything you can ask from a first baseman defensively, George did, and he provided some punch at the plate as well.
We covered the defense, we covered the pitching. How about that punch at the plate that the Aces brought? 5 runs, a season-high 13 hits. It was pretty much everybody up and down the lineup contributing again.
Yeah, and what's even more impressive is that they contribute with resiliency. 2 runs in that third inning for Adelaide on 2 home runs, one of them coming with 2 strikes and 2 outs in the inning, and the Aces just bounced right back. They took the lead in the bottom half of that third, getting 3 of their own runs, and added some insurance runs late in the game as well. And then as we kept on saying, the pitching locked down in those late innings. Dan McGraw was fantastic, and just up and down the lineup, the Aces played a really complete game and got a big win.
Well, you mentioned Dan McGraw, and McGraw's last 4 outings since coming off the injured list, he's gone save, win, save. He's been fantastic at the back end of the bullpen. So let's turn our attention to today's game. Like I said, the final Sunday home game of the regular season here at Melbourne Ballpark. It's crazy how quickly this season has flown by, but still 2 home games left starting today. We should have a fun one here. Jack Fox on the mound for the Aces, going for 3 straight wins. What do you expect from Jack and the Aces today?
Just more of the same, really. Jack has been really good in his last couple of starts. The Blue Sox really made him work for it. Threw 71 pitches in 3 2/3 innings, but allowed just 1 run. That was a solo homer in the first. After that, completely dominant. So we might not get a great outing in terms of efficient pitch economy. He might have to throw a bunch of pitches, but at the end of the day, Jack Fox is going to get outs. That's something he has done well for the Aces all year long. Definitely expect some of that, and the lineup's reshuffled a little bit, but the Aces are hot. The batting has looked about as good as we've seen all season.
Aces going for 3 straight wins, looking to take 3 of 4 from their division rival, the Adelaide Giants, looking to keep their playoff hopes alive. There is still a shot at the postseason for the Aces. They just have to start here today and take care of business. Well, if you haven't noticed here, we're doing this Brick Lane pregame show live from the Melbourne Aces team store. And we got the Aces jerseys on here. Just want to let fans know that you can buy game-worn Aces jerseys. You can also get game-used baseballs. So these baseballs used in actual Aces games, that you can buy these at the team store. And Josh, tell the Aces fans a little bit about this glove you have on right here.
It's a custom Meraki glove, a business that Aces pitcher Cody Mincy has a vested interest in. And, I mean, I have never seen custom gloves this ornate. You see the Aces logo on this, the team colors, and there are a whole bunch of them here in the team store. And on a select few, you can get a signed ball by Cody Mincy with the purchase of Meraki glove. That's it, you're not going to want to pass up.
A lot of awesome gear here at the Melbourne Aces team store. I mean, just look behind us. I mean, anything you want. Hoodies, hats, shorts, T-shirts. And again, these game-used jerseys are pretty sweet. One more thing, backpacks and water bottles for back to school. Kids going back to school soon here out in Australia. Got backpacks for $50 and water bottles for $10. Just a lot of good stuff out here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to get another suitcase to bring all these gifts back to my folks and everyone. Don't worry, Mom and Dad. Something good's coming.
Well, we got the jerseys on. We're late for our Aces introductory press conference. We're about to go ahead and do that, the newest signings for the Melbourne Aces. He's Josh Berber. I'm Aussie Mike. We'll talk to you on air in a couple minutes.
It's another beautiful day here at Melbourne Ballpark as the Aces and Adelaide Giants look to finish off round 9. Melbourne looking for their first series victory since the second round against Perth, and their playoff fate depends on Perth as well. Welcome into the broadcast. I'm Josh Sperber, joined by Aussie Mike, and the last couple of nights, Mike, the Aces have looked about as good as they have all season.
Yeah, it's impressive to see this late in the season that the team is still, finding its way. And it's cool to see them all coming together knowing that they've got a shot to keep this thing going, and they're playing some of their best baseball right now.
And lucky for Aces fans, Cavs and Heat tied up at 4, so playoffs still in sight for Melbourne. But what is also not in sight is the sun just yet. Let's take a look at the Vibrant Services weather report for tonight's game.
Yeah, still waiting for that sun to come out. I'm trying to hit the beach after the game, but we got 19 degrees Celsius right now, a lot cooler than last night, wind at 26 kilometers per hour. A little bit humid, but you don't really feel it because it's cool outside, and then the 0% chance of rain. Love that. So we'll deal with a little clouds if it means no rain.
And I'll definitely take it. Not a 36-degree day or whatever it was yesterday. That might have been just a bit too hot for us. But the Aces looking hot tonight, and that is something that we want to see a whole lot more of. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Melbourne Aces in the final day of round 9 against the Giants. A little change at the top of the lineup. Jared Dale coming back to the leadoff spot, and why not? 3 hits last night, 2 hits the night before, including the walk-off. He has been red hot for the Aces. He'll play short. Robbie Glendinning gets a night off in the field, but a bat you must keep in the lineup. He's batting second at the DH spot. Jake Scholl's been in the 3-hole all series. He moves back from the DH out into his customary position in right field. Darryl George moves over from first to the hot corner, staying in the cleanup spot after a really good all-around performance yesterday. Chris Burke has reached base in each of his past 6 games and hits in 5 of those 6. He's in left batting 5th. Aaron Whitefield moves up the spot in a lineup, and he'll play in center field. He's got a 2-game hitting streak going for the Aces. J.D. Osborne will be in the lineup for the first time since Game 1 of this series. He's playing first and batting 7th. Matt O'Neill giving Ryan Lavarnway a day off behind the plate. O'Neill will be batting 8th, and George Khalil, who's got his average up over 260 now, is batting 9th and playing second base for the Aces. Starting on the mound for Melbourne is Jack Fox, coming off of a really solid outing in Sydney. A guy who's been a late addition to the starting rotation, but a welcome one.
I really liked what I saw from Jack in that start in Sydney. He only gave up 2 hits. He kept the ball in the strike zone, and he got some swings and misses out of the strike zone, too. I like the fastball when he can elevate it against both right and left-handed hitters. I expect him to have a good start, and he's a little more stretched out. Now we may see him go 5 innings.
Well, you'll have to watch the game to find that out, but we'll step aside for a second with the playing of the national anthem. We are just about ready to get underway here at Melbourne Ballpark. Aces have won the last 2 against Adelaide, and they need to win every game the rest of the season if they're going to want to get into the playoffs. What are the keys to doing that, Mike, as we take a look at today's keys to the ballgame?
We've talked about it a lot over the last couple days. It starts with taking care of business here in Melbourne. Get the dub, get the win. That's all that the Aces can control right now. So they have to just worry about that. Jack Fox is going to go out there and throw a good game, and the bats are going to pick up behind him. Go Cavs. We're all Canberra Cavalry fans today, and the Cavalry have just taken a 5-4 lead over the Perth Heat. Perth was up in that game 4-0, but in the bottom of the third, Canberra's exploded for 5 runs. So go Cavs. We're all rooting for Canberra here today. We get the orange and black out. We're rooting for them because we need the Cavs to win, and then enjoy it. And I think that goes for everybody. Look, only 2 home games left in the regular season, only 2 guaranteed games left at Melbourne Ballpark in this season overall. So the goal is to just go out and enjoy it. I mean, these guys know that every time they take the field, they got a chance to play a kid's game and make money doing it, and that's always awesome. And we got a chance to broadcast games, and I know we're taking advantage of it up here in the booth, having as much fun as we can.
It's not every day you get to broadcast a game in January. We certainly love it. We have absolutely loved bringing you guys the broadcast on Aces TV this year. So we want to thank you guys. The first of many times we'll do it throughout this broadcast in Tuesdays. Really appreciate everyone who has tuned in and stuck with us all season long. But today, the Aces need a victory, and they turn to Jack Fox. A really solid last couple of starts for him on the year. A 1-1 record, .550 ERA, 16 strikeouts to 10 walks in 18 innings.
Yeah, Jack's been really solid. He's a guy who, when the season started, he was a multi-inning reliever out of the bullpen, able to eat up innings and bridge the gap from the middle innings to the late innings. And now he's getting a chance to start a role that he's comfortable in. He's started pretty much all of his professional and collegiate life, and for the first time pitching out of the bullpen here in Melbourne, but now back in the rotation.
And he's got a tough Adelaide Giants top of the order to work through. Nick Ward, the newest Philadelphia Phillies prospect, leading off for the 4th straight game for the Giants, and Jack Fox lead things off with a breaking ball called strike.
The Aces have kept Ward pretty quiet in this over the last 2 games. He went 3 for 5 in the series at opener, but just 1 hit. It was a solo homer over the last 2 games, but keeping him quiet.
0-1, fouled away, 0-2, and maybe that's another key to the game, just bottling up a guy who has been one of the best hitters in the ABL this season. A batting average north of 300, 7 home runs, 24 RBIs this season. Ward has been a dynamo, and it's why he has earned himself a minor league contract.
It's a pretty lethal Adelaide lineup, and it just shows how good the Aces pitching has been the last 2 games.
0-2 hit high in the air down the left field line. George is going to chase, but that's going to fall past the Cyclone tool shed. Foul. The count will stay 0-2. Ward, the second baseman, leading things off for Adelaide. Michael Martinez remains in the 2 spot and at shortstop. Top 2 unchanged for Adelaide this whole series. Rickson Wingrove, though, gets his series debut playing first and batting third. Quincy Lattimore remains in the cleanup spot out in left field. Anthony Kirion moves down to the 5-hole. He'll be DHing. 0-2. Missing outside with the breaker is Fox. It's a 1-2 count to Ward. Rest of the lineup for Adelaide includes Jared Carr back in center field in the 6-hole. Jordan McCardle remains in right field. He's hit a home run in 2 of the 3 games this series, batting 7th. Liam Spence moves down to 8th and over to 3rd. And Ryan January rounds out the order for Adelaide. It's a 2-2 count to Ward now, as Fox slowing things down to Nick Ward. And now the count is even.
That's a pretty good curveball there, just a little bit high. It crossed high. I got to imagine he goes fastball here after the curveball, the previous pitch.
The 2-2. That one is hammered high in the air out to right field. Drifting back on it is Skoll on the track, and that is going to carry itself out of the ballpark. It looked like the ballpark was going to keep that in, but a leadoff homer for Nick Ward, and Adelaide starts things off with a solo shot.
Well, there goes that key to the game. That was one we just threw in at the end, though. We didn't actually write that one down, but I mean, look, the 2 wins for the Aces in this series, they've kept the top of the order quiet. That's a pretty good start for Adelaide right there. We'll take a look at this replay on the All-Star Access Higher replay review. Yeah, fastball a little bit up in the zone middle, and Ward got the barrel on it.
Martinez fouls this one away. Switch hitter hitting from the left side. 0-1 to him.
Solo homers won't kill you. I talked about it last night with Steve Kent. The Aces got behind early with those on those 2 solo shots from Adelaide, and they came back and eventually won the game.
Martinez lost this over to first. Osborne will keep it himself. Take it to the bag for the first out. A 3 unassisted retires the former major leaguer in Michael Martinez. Rickson Wingrove comes up to the plate and will set the defense for the Aces. Starting in the infield, it's Osborne at first, Khalil at second, Jared Dale at short, Darryl George at third. Left to right in the outfield, Chris Burke, Aaron Whitefield in center, and Jake Skoll out in right, with Matt O'Neill, the battery mate of Jack Fox. Rickson Wingrove, a longtime member of the Adelaide Giants, swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. It's a 0-1 count to him. And Fox deals, breaking ball outside. And this is pretty similar to what happened in that Sydney game. It was the second batter of the game in Zach Shepard who hit the solo home run in the first inning. But after that, Fox settled right down and was lights out for the final 3 1/3 innings that he pitched in a game the Aces ended up taking from the Blue Sox. So Melbourne certainly not going to be discouraged by a leadoff home run.
No, not at all. Jack's done a great job of forgetting about what happened with the previous at-bat and just moving on from there. And a couple good pitches in a row. He didn't get the call there, but the previous pitch down in the zone, that was nasty.
Got good stuff. A fastball and a curveball are going to be the main pitches you see. He rotates a couple other breaking balls in there, but that combination of the fastball and the curveball has been his bread and butter. 2-2 count now to Wingrove. The pitch. Hit hard, foul.
Rickson had a big series in Adelaide when these two teams played in round 3. So another big bat to this Giants order that they've got back now. Makes it even harder on these Aces pitchers, but the pitching's been really good the last 2 nights. I expect to continue here today.
Now the 2-2. Just missing upstairs with the fastball, and it's 3-2. Wingrove, 3 seasons with the Adelaide Giants, his first 2 with Sydney, but it's been in Adelaide where he's really come into his own as a power hitter. Payoff pitch. Hit on the ground to second. The overshift pays off as Khalil fields it in right field for out number 2. Seen a lot of overshifts against Adelaide this series, and Khalil just making it look easy once again.
It's something that the Aces haven't done much of this season. Now, they haven't faced a ton of lineups with this many lefties in it. Geelong Korea comes to mind, and 7 games against GK so far, there's been a lot of lefties to face, but they didn't shift too much in those series. But here against Adelaide, I like what they're doing, moving guys around and putting them in good positions where they can get to the ball a lot easier.
And another slight shift for Quincy Lattimore. You see the shortstop in Jared Dale with his toes on the outfield grass. George is a bit deep at third base, and everything's just kind of slightly tilted to the left field side of Lattimore as the curveball misses upstairs. A 2-0 count to the former Melbourne Ace.
He's been ripping the ball to the pool side all series long, so I like that they're not just doing it for the lefties. They're doing it for the righties too.
Fastball upstairs, but a called strike to Lattimore, who won the most recent ABL championship as a member of the Melbourne Aces.
It doesn't always have to be an extreme shift one way or the other. You can just move one guy sometimes.
That's an extremely well-hit ball deep into center field. On the track is Whitefield. He's going to step forward and make the grab. So a couple of balls hit nice and deep by the Giants, but only 1 run on the board as Fox retires the next 3 after the leadoff home run. 1-0 Giants with the Aces coming up to bat in the bottom of the first.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Order your favourite meals from Light and Easy's new spring menu and enjoy amazing food, more free time and a healthier life. No shopping or cooking and no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, delicious meals delivered to your door. Order today.
Create the perfect look for your home with U-Blind's once-a-year stock take sale. For 2 weeks only, all U-Blind's products are half price. Yes, half price. U-Blind's Australia. More value for you. Head to ublinds.com.au.
Adelaide gets on the board first, but the Aces have the support of another big crowd here in Melbourne. It is a 1-0 ball game with the Aces coming to bat. But Melbourne has not scored first very often this series, and they've still come out on the winning end in 2 of the first 3 games.
And they've done such a good job of playing from behind. Now, it's a lot easier when you don't have to play from behind, but with a lineup this lethal, it really doesn't matter. And 1 run in the first inning, that's nothing.
And each of the past 2 games, when Adelaide has put the first couple runs on the board, the Aces have responded by taking the lead in the home half of the inning. So Jared Dale with an 0-2 count, but hoping to continue that trend for Melbourne. And he has been a massive contributor in each of those 2 wins, beginning with that walk-off base hit on Friday night. He lets the breaking ball go low and away. January wants an appeal to first, but none given. Facing Jack O'Loughlin, another Adelaide native. International signing by the Detroit Tigers back in 2018. As he deals the 1-2. Dale grounds that, and that's going to leak into left field for a base hit. Jared Dale picking right up where he left off. His 4th hit in the last 2 games. 3-game hit streak for the Aces shortstop.
That's great to see Jared coming along with the bat. And for him to be able to just jump back and forth between the leadoff spot or hitting down in the lineup and not be fazed by it and just hit in any situation, that's huge.
So the tying run quickly aboard for the Aces, and the big bat of Robbie Glendening trying to drive him in. He sends this one on the ground. Martinez stumbles, rolls it to second for 1, and the throw sails past the first baseman. Ryan January, a great backup, and Michael Martinez laying out to keep that ball from getting into the outfield.
He took a hit away right there. That's a hard hit ball by Glendening up the middle. Martinez, pretty impressive that he was able to get that somehow to Nick Ward, and then a good backup by January. You see the catchers run down that first base line all the time on the backup. And look at this stop by Martinez, and just did everything he could to just push it to Ward.
And pushing it is the operative word. That ball didn't leave the ground getting to second base to get the first man out. Impressive job by the former major leaguer in Michael Martinez. And now Dale replaced on first by Glendening. Jake Skoll at the plate. A 1-0 count to the big lefty from Savannah, Georgia. O'Loughlin in his 3rd season with Adelaide. Deals the 1-0. Slider misses outside, 2-0. And he had a pretty warm introduction into the minor leagues. Played with the Connecticut Tigers of the New York Penn League back in 2018 and 2019, and was part of a no-hit bid for at least 1 game in each of his first 2 seasons in the Tigers organization. 2-0 to Skoll, right over the plate for a called strike, and he got that no-hitter July 28th, 2019, the first no-hitter in the Connecticut Tigers history in what ended up being the last season of their franchise. 2-1. Misses low, count 3-1. And O'Loughlin, plenty of experience in the ABL as well. This is his first season in Australia since 2017. Those 2016 and 2017 season helped him earn a minor league contract with the Tigers. As Skoll hits this one into right field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. 2 hard hit ground ball singles for the Aces, 2 on and 1 out. to bring up Darryl George.
You like to see those hard hit balls early in the game, getting good swings and good looks off of O'Loughlin's pitches, and now that sets up Darryl George to face a lefty with 2 on and only 1 out.
And you can really see the sense of urgency in these Aces at bats. They know their season is on the line with every single pitch, and they're doing everything they can to keep it alive in front of these home fans.
Well, you can absolutely feel it. It's a playoff atmosphere in this ballpark today, even though the Aces need other things to go their way. But in terms of doing what they can do, they're taking advantage of the opportunity.
2 on, 1 out for Darryl George. First pitch from O'Loughlin gets the outside corner for a called strike. Speaking of that playoff atmosphere, the Heat and Cavs are tied up at 5 in the top of the 4th inning. 9 runs scored in the 3rd, 5 of them coming from Canberra at MIT Narrabundah Ballpark. We'll be keeping an eye on that because if the Aces lose or the Heat win, then the regular season is over for Melbourne. O'Loughlin deals the 0-1. Misses low and in. And it's a 1-1 count to George. George, a guy who you always know for his impact at the plate. He's been one of the best hitters in the ABL for a long time, but yesterday he really flashed the leather and came up big at first base for the Aces. 1-1. Misses upstairs, 2-1.
And Peter Moylan's been able to do a few different things with his lineup, both 1 through 9 in the batting order and defense for this season, because Darryl's been able to go across the diamond and play third some of the time as well. But we see that he can still pick it over at first, and he handles third really well.
Really versatile infielder with a big bat for the Aces. 2-1. Over the plate for a called strike on the breaking ball. And it's a 2-2 count to the reigning Helms Award winner. Over 300 games played in 10 seasons in the ABL for Darryl George. Reached that mark in the middle of the Geelong series in round 6, right before Christmas. 2-2. Hit up the middle to second. Ward's going to take it to the bag himself, on to first, and there's the double play. So a 4 unassisted double play ends the inning, but the Aces threatened in the first. 2 hits, but no runs. Aces leave a man aboard. It's 1-0 Adelaide in the lead as we head to the second on Aces TV.
Oh, we've been there for every game of 4 and 25. When Meatloaf overcooked it and Gregan saved that try. When Brownie takes one for the team and Bradbury skated by. This golden crusty pastry watched as Taylor kicked the sky. When Dan Simmons makes a 3, we give a big high five. What future sport looks like just won't be right without a pie. Oh, what a lovely pie, me mates are 4 and 25. Oi!
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
An exciting first inning from both sides, and another day, another packed ballpark here in Melbourne. But the Adelaide Giants have an early 1-0 lead on the Aces. Josh Sperber, Mike Marcantonini here for you on Aces TV with the play-by-play. Aces let up the early run, but you can still tell that there's life in this team. They're not going to go away anytime soon. As the first pitch of the second is in there for a strike to Anthony Kirion.
Yeah, no doubt, this team is. They know what they have to do today, And they're energized. They're playing like it. We saw the intensity in the first inning. And now Jack Fox a chance to settle back in after giving up that homer. He did a great job of getting a quick ground ball out after the home run. 2 ground ball outs and then a fly out to end the inning.
And you know this Aces team just wants to keep playing. A championship culture here in Melbourne after winning the last 2. And 3 straight strikes open up the second inning. Jack Fox gets his first punch out for the first down.
He's got a little bounce in his step as he walked around the mound there, picking up his first strikeout, and you know he's feeling good. I think, you know, when it's definitely a deflating feeling to give up home runs, but when it only counts for 1 run, I mean, it's no different than giving up like an RBI single.
Yeah, and we've seen Fox bounce back from that before. That was his 6th home run allowed this season. But he's one of those guys who has a short memory and can really clamp down after allowing a run. That one sent right back to him, and Jared Carr is on first base with a hot shot single. 1 out in the second inning and a runner on.
Well, another score update from Canberra. The Heat regain the lead at 6-5. That game in the bottom of the 4th.
That's something that we're going to need to keep an eye on. So as it stands, the Aces will not be able to defend their title in the playoffs. But again, top of the 4th inning, plenty of time for the Cavs to come back, and the Aces will still be playing competitive here no matter what. Though the Cavalry and Heat game started at noon, so that may be finished before we are here. It's a 1-0 count to Jordan McArdle, who's had a big game in terms of power. Home runs in each of the last 2 nights playing in right field. And he had a couple of big doubles in Adelaide's 7-0 victory on Thursday. So a really good series for the Giants right fielder. 2-0 count. Carr's got good speed, leads off first, and the breaking ball misses low to McArdle to make it 3-0. Rio pitch misses outside, and it's ball 4. So 2 on and 1 out. The Giants with multiple base runners for the first time.
Big reason why Fox was so successful in his last start is he limited the walks. First walk there, and now Matt O'Neill's going to go out and chat with him. Just give him a breather, settle things down, and maybe go over signs here with first and second and 1 out. Ground ball away from getting out of the inning. That's what Fox needs to focus on doing here. Keep the ball down in the zone and not give Spence a pitch he can drive.
I imagine that's part of that conversation as O'Neill will trot back to home plate with Liam Spence coming to bat. Spence has been pretty quiet at the plate, but today you might get to see more of his glove. A big reason that the Chicago Cubs drafted him in the 5th round of 2021. Was on the All-SEC defensive first team in his senior year with the Tennessee Volunteers. As the first pitch fastball misses low and away, 5 straight balls for Fox. But Spence has been pretty quiet at the plate, just a couple of singles this series. This is first game at a position other than first base against Melbourne here at Melbourne Ballpark. The 1-0 right down to the heart of the plate, and it's 1-1. Fox, 25 years old, recently signed by the Savannah Bananas. He'll be playing a different kind of baseball in the Banana Ball World Tour this upcoming season. Played his last couple of years in the American Association as Spence lifts this one foul down the right field line. 1-2 count to the Geelong native and Liam Spence. Played most of this season for the Myrtle Beach Pelicans, the low A affiliate of the Chicago Cubs, after debuting in High A back in 2021. Fox takes a look over at second base. Infield pinch for the double play. 1-2, just missing outside. Appeal to first base confirms it. 2-2 count to Spence, as we'll introduce the umpires for tonight's game. Ryan Harder is behind the plate, Warren Van Ruyen moves over to first, and Andrew Bell is on third base for today's umpire crew. 2-2 count to Spence, one out here in the top second. Fox deals, Spence fouls, and it will stay 2-2. Spence hitting .259 this season for Adelaide. He is in his first year in the ABL, has played 5 different positions in 27, now 28 games for the Adelaide Giants this year. Fox, the 2-2 again. Off goes Carr. It's a hit and run, hit high in the air, foul down the right field line, and that's going to end up in the All-Star bar. Carr will return to second base. Has good speed on the season, but has been caught twice in 5 attempts, so 3 stolen bases for the Giants center fielder. We'll see if he tries to head to third again on the 2-2. Fox has his sign. He'll look back at Carr again. The pitch. Breaking ball, chopped foul. 3 straight 2-strike pitches fouled away by Spence as he's keeping the pressure on Jack Fox here. Fox is now set. Here's the 2-2 again. This one misses upstairs, and the count runs full. Second full count already as Fox has had a lot to do. A whole lot of work from the pitcher. He's thrown 35 pitches now, 22 for strikes. The runners will go. Payoff pitch, hit high in the air, out to left field, and Carr's going to have to turn around quickly. Dale is under it in left to make the grab for out number 2.
And Carr did a lot of running out there, going back and forth on the as he was off on those last 2 pitches. Good job by Fox to reduce the pop-up.
You're going to get contact on a 3-2 count with just a lot of back and forth, a lot of foul balls. You want it to be something like that. Spence was way underneath that ball, an easy play for Dale out in left field. So 2 gone now to bring up Ryan January, who thumps that into the Aces dugout for strike 1. January has played in each of the last 3 games. The only time he's reached base in this series was when he was hit by a pitch by John Kennedy in the 7th inning of yesterday's game. The 0-1 outside with the heater, count 1-1. And this would be a big inning for Fox if he's able to get himself out of this jam. 2 on and 1 out. Trying to escape unscathed. The 1-1 corkscrewed over to second, routine play for Khalil, and Fox escapes the second inning with no runs allowed. 2 runners come aboard for the Giants on 1 hit, both of them left stranded, and the Aces head into the bottom of the second with a 1-0 deficit. Melbourne looking to turn it around next on Aces TV.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
This is going to be one of those many times. Over 5,000 fans coming into Melbourne Ballpark this past round. A record for the Aces. We really appreciate all of you who have come to the ballpark all season and packed it for this all-important round 9 against the Adelaide Giants. Chris Burke takes the first pitch high into center field, drifting into right center, but it's Carr who's under it for out number 1. And Mike, we have really felt the presence of this record crowd throughout this series. The walk-off especially in front of a record crowd this season. 1,801 on Friday and over 1,300 packed the ballpark last night.
It's been an impressive crowd each of the last 2 home series, round 7 against Canberra and even better in the final home series of the regular season here in round 9. It's just so cool to see so many Aces fans showing out to support the team in really big games.
And baseball is really better for everyone when you have a packed house. It certainly makes it more fun for us in the booth. And you know the players love seeing all the fans supporting them here as well. 0-1 count to Whitefield now as he bunts it foul. Hits that one off the catcher. And January is going to walk that one off. So 2 bunts at the beginning of the at-bat for Aaron Whitefield. And now an 0-2 count to the Aces center fielder. Although I'm not sure that's Aaron Whitefield.
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday, and I can confirm that it's him, but it's like you still, even looking at seeing him in person, you're like, that might be a different dude.
He said that he tries to shave the beard at least once a season just to fool with his teammates. Which, I mean, it worked. Had a hard time recognizing the first couple days of this series. Fastball inside keeps the at-bat alive as it's 1-2. But it's worked out. He's recorded at least 1 hit in each game since shaving the beard. And now the 1-2. Swing and a miss. And he will go back to the dugout. First strikeout of the day for O'Loughlin. 2 gone here in the second. So I'll bring up J.D. Osborne, who's had an uncharacteristic 2 days off in this series. He's been an everyday player, but he's a guy who's had to move around the diamond and really has done everything the Aces have asked of him this year.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Just a guy who, I talked about Darryl George earlier, making it a lot easier for this Aces team because he can move around the infield a little bit. Well, J.D. Osborne, to be able to play 4 different defensive positions, that's huge.
Inside out sit, foul down the right field line.
And you know, as the lineup has lengthened throughout the season, JD's moved down in the batting order, but you know, hasn't really been affected by it. Look, I mean, this guy's just going to hit in any situation, regardless of where he's penciled in the lineup.
Another one hit the other way, foul towards the All-Star bar, 1-2.
And he was playing every day. It was him and Robson for the longest time were the only 2 Aces that had played in and started every game. And then JD started to get a couple days off here and there. I got to imagine some rest late in the season is good, just to keep you fresh.
And Osborne, a guy who played a lot for the Pensacola Blue Wahoos in the Miami Marlins system. And especially for these minor league guys who play just a lot more baseball than anyone, you need a couple rest days every now and again. And Osborne looking to come back fresh in a crucial game for the Aces. The 2-2. Outside, bouncing into January's glove, and the count runs full. Two outs here in the second. Slight shift to the pull side for Osborne. O'Loughlin deals. That one is hit up the middle into the gap for a base hit. That's going to roll all the way to the wall as Osborne speeds around first. He'll stand up at second with a 2-out double. J.D. Osborne coming up big for the Aces, getting himself a 2-out extra base hit.
It's what this team needed, a little spark with 2 outs, and got the dugout fired up, and now Matt O'Neill a chance to bring home that tying run and keep this thing going.
And just a well-hit ball, like a fellow catcher once said, just hit them where they ain't. And
fastball
Osborne
right
did
down
that.
the middle.
Yeah.
You know, just got a good piece on it, and he busted it out of the batter's box right there. He knew that ball was getting to the wall for a double.
Yeah, he was thinking 2 all the way. Good heads-up base running with Osborne beating the shift as January stopped him from advancing to third. Really nice pick behind the plate. So 1-0 count to Matt O'Neill. Another guy who's gotten a couple more days off with the addition of Ryan Lavarnway. A third catcher on the roster as the 1-0 just catches the inside corner, 1-1. O'Neill, another guy who played a lot of baseball. I know, Mike, your Aberdeen Ironbirds had the pleasure of eliminating O'Neill from the South Atlantic League season.
Yeah, we did. Absolutely. That was fun to get to the championship round. That was before I knew Matt.
1-1 hit the other way, but it's going to land foul.
But of all the guys that we've seen in Melbourne this season, he was the first Aces player I got to call a game for. Before he was an ace, before I was an ace.
Before we even knew. And he's been nothing but consistent for the Aces. Great defensively and a really solid addition, usually to the bottom of the Aces order. 241 hitter on the season, 2 homers, 51 RBIs, as Ryan January is going to come out and have a chat with Jack O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin will get a new ball, as I believe January hand-delivered him another baseball out on the mound. But it's a 1-2 count to O'Neill. Tying run on second base. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. The pitch. Called strike 3, and O'Neill knew it. A nice fastball from O'Loughlin nullifies a 2-out double by J.D. Osborne. Aces don't score a run on 1 hit. They leave 1 left. And at the end of 2 innings, the Giants lead at 1-0. Aussie Mike will be over on play-by-play for the next 2 innings when we come back.
Aussie gardeners are best served by Aussie tools, built specifically for our unique environment and conditions. Back in the 1890s, Leonard Chambers and William Thompson started a beekeeping supply business in Melbourne. Little would they know that their company would go on to change how Australians garden for well over a century. Cyclone is ingrained into our country's history and our way of life. Our tools are long-lasting and purpose-built for hard work.
We've been making quality tools for over a century.
They last that long, you can hand them down to the next generation. Good, quality, honest product that the Australian people have grown to love.
It's not an Aussie shed without a cyclone.
My biggest takeaway of being here for 34 years is just sense of pride in the product.
Australians buy good products. So if they keep on buying, we keep on making, so we're here.
Cyclone tools, made for Australians.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Top of the third inning from Melbourne Ballpark. It's the Giants 1 and the Aces nothing. The Aces looking to keep their playoff hopes alive. They need a win today, and they need a Perth Heat loss in Canberra. Right now, the Heat with an 8-5 lead over the Cavalry. That game in the middle innings over in Canberra. Bottom 5, it's Perth 8 and Canberra 5. Top of the order for the Giants, Nick Ward, Michael Martinez, and Rickson Wingrove. Ward homered over the right field wall in the top of the first, and that produced the only run of the game so far. Ward, who will represent Great Britain in the 2023 World Baseball Classic, has had an excellent 2022-2023 ABL season. His 8th home run of the season last night, his 9th homer today. Well, it's going to be a really fun 2023 for Nick Ward. Well, one, he's got a chance to play for a championship here in the ABL. Two, he signed a minor league contract with his hometown Philadelphia Phillies, and he gets to play in the World Baseball Classic. Tapped foul. Counts 0-2. I mean, that's just an action-packed first couple months of the season. I mean, and then he's got the rest of the calendar year, too.
And not a bad way to start off the year.
Well, he's excited about the WBC opportunity when I was talking to him yesterday, and he told me about it. I was like, wow, I mean, just the life experience you're going to get playing in the WBC for Great Britain, where he's got familial connections through his grandmother, and getting a chance to go to spring training and then play in the regular season as a Phillies farmhand.
At least 2 of his Phillies teammates are going to be on the U.S. team. There's got to be more than that. I just know Schwarber and Harper off the top.
JT Realmuto and Schwarber will be on the roster. Harper was going to play, and now with the surgery he had to get, he's out. Yeah, he'll be in the batter's box, and Great Britain's first game is against the U.S., so he'll have JT Realmuto behind him. 1-2. Tapper over Fox's head. We'll see what Khalil can do with it. That's smooth right there. Wow. George Khalil, flick of the wrist over to J.D. Osborne. 4-3 on the putout.
He just has to have one of the smoothest gloves I've ever seen. Look at how quick that transfer is. Running forward away from the first base bag, just sidearms it, and what a throw.
He's got that quick release, and he's able to throw from different arm slots out at second, and plays such a good second base. Here's Michael Martinez. He bounced to first his first time up. A lot of scoreboard watching today here in Melbourne. Keep an eye on that Perth-Canberra game. Also locking in on what's happening here at Melbourne Ballpark. One more home game here in the regular season for the Aces. A couple days from now on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. against Geelong, Korea. A makeup game from what was supposed to be the series finale in round 1. So those two teams will finally make that game up. The two Victorian squads. 1-2, that's down.
That seemed like a long time ago. But
it did, it really did.
At the same time, it also feels like it was yesterday.
I was just thinking back to the round 1, even the round 2 series against Perth. I mean, we were bundled up here in the broadcast booth.
Yeah.
A little cool today, but I mean, we've had some hot ones lately, which I like.
Yeah, I had to get some swag from the Aces team store just to stay warm enough.
How about another punch out for Jack Fox? He's got 2 in the game. 2 up, 2 down in the third. Oh, the Aces team store has so much good swag. Now, you walk in there, be prepared to drop a bag. Get your wallet ready, because there's some sweet stuff in there. Andy does such a good job getting it ready and making sure everything's in place. We did our pregame show from the team store today, and that was pretty fun as Rickson Wingrove swings over a breaking ball. It's 0-1.
Yeah, there's too much nice stuff in there.
You can get game-worn jerseys, buy game-used baseballs, some Meraki gloves, which Cody Mincy has his hand in. Mincy, one of the founders and owners of Meraki gloves, and you get a signed baseball if you buy a Meraki glove. Signed baseball by Cody Mincy. Got sweatshirts, hats, shorts. 0-2, fastball high.
And I need a glove. I haven't had a baseball glove that fits me since I was a kid.
You've been saying that.
I might have to pick one of those up. Those are some really nice gloves. A couple of really cool designs. One with an Australian flag on it. The Aces one I was wearing during the pregame show. I almost just stole that.
1-2, swing and a miss. Good pitch by Fox down in the zone. Back-to-back strikeouts, and he works a 1-2-3 third. Giants still lead at 1-0, but through 2.5, we got a close one here in Melbourne. Aces will get another chance at the plate in the bottom of the third after this on Aces TV.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Order your favourite meals from Light and Easy's new spring menu and enjoy amazing food, more free time and a healthier life. No shopping or cooking and no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, delicious meals delivered to your door. Order today.
Create the perfect look for your home with U-Blind's once-a-year stocktake sale. For 2 weeks only, all U-Blind's products are half price. Yes, half price. U-Blind's Australia. More value for you. Head to ublinds.com.au.
Bottom three at Melbourne Ballpark. Aussie Mike and Josh Sperber with you on the call. Really solid day for a ball game in Victoria. Not too hot, not too cold. As George Khalil leads off the bottom of the third. Khalil, Dale, and Glendinning 9-1-2. Aces trail the Giants 1-0. Nick Ward, a leadoff homer in the top of the first. It's produced the only run of the game so far. Lefty Jack O'Loughlin back to work. Khalil takes a strike. It's 0-2. George really swinging a good bat. He's hit safely in 4 straight. And he's hit safely in 6 of his last 9. On his 4-game hitting streak, he's racked up 7 hits, including 3 doubles. Here's the 0-2. He fights it off. A couple multi-hit games over his last 4. The series finale in Sydney last weekend, he went 2 for 3. And then 3 games so far in this series, 1 for 3, 3 for 4, and 1 for 3.
And he's a guy who's just gotten better and better as the season has gone on. And we've talked about his glove all year long, but the bat, particularly in these last couple series, has really snuck up on you.
Fly ball deep right field, but McCardle has a beat on it. He makes the grab. And that's out number 1.
Just a tad late on that. Kind of got a little bit underneath it, a little bit late on the backswing, and it ended up in a fly ball, but you like seeing the Aces continuing to put bat on ball. I mean, just the way it's been going for them the past couple nights, at one point it's just going to fall.
Here's Jared Dale, 3 hits last night. And a hit so far today is 1 for 1. Dale had his first 3-hit game of the season last night. Overall, 6 multi-hit games for him. That's tied for second most on the team. Robbie Glendinning and Jake Skoll each with 7 multi-hit games for the most on the club. And Dale and J.D. Osborne each with 6. Pitch, big swing and a big miss there from Dale. It's 0-2. Aggressive approach from Jared, just 22 years old, playing in his 6th Aces season. Riding a 5-game hitting streak. Well, 6-game hitting streak now with the hit earlier today.
Talk about a guy who's just been peaking at the right time. He's just been hitting the ball really well, seeing it really well in the latter stages of this season, heading right into spring training for the Padres. I think he's going to be poised for a big 2023.
Well, he's hit safely in 16 of his last 20.
Is that good? That seems good.
That's pretty good. And even more so, he's hitting safely in 12 of his last 13 now. Popped up right side. Ward out there in shallow right makes the grab. 2 up, 2 down.
Got the leadoff hit, but just a bit underneath that one. And O'Loughlin really cruising after he was kind of hit around in that first inning. Aces running out of time. I know it's still the third inning, but they need to start something.
Here's Glendenning. Tried to hold up, but could not. It's 0-1. Glendenning has the average at 286, 353 on base, 839 OPS. Team leader in RBIs with 16. He also leads the team in homers with 6. He's been so good this season. Had a multi-homer game earlier this season against Adelaide, in Adelaide. A solo shot and a 2-run. And he followed up those 2 homers in his first 2 at-bats with a single. And he had a good round 1 and 2 against Geelong, Korea, and Perth, but he really got going against Adelaide and hasn't stopped hitting. 1-2 fouled off.
And what's amazing is that he's in his 7th ABL season, and this is his lowest batting average at 283. That's just
impressive.
remarkable.
Yeah. A few more games to get that back up. 1-2, called strike 3. I can't believe it. Robbie can't believe it. Josh next to me can't believe it. That's a tough one right there, but it's the call, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. 3rd strikeout for O'Loughlin. He looks good early, and the inning is over. So after 3 full, it's the Giants 1, the Aces nothing. Top of the 4th after a quick break on Aces TV.
Oh, we've been there for every game, a 4 and 25. When Meatloaf overcooked it and Gregan saved that try. When Brownie takes one full and even Bradbury skated by. This golden crusty pastry watched as Taylor kicked the sky. When Ben Simmons makes a 3, we give a big high five. What future sport looks like just won't be right without a pie. Oh, what a lovely pie, me mates, a 4 and 25. Oi!
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Another inning for righty Jack Fox. 54 pitches through 3 strong innings in his 3rd start of the season. A 1-2-3 third. Now he's back out for the 4th. He gets Quincy Lattimore, Anthony Kirion, and Jared Carr, 4-5-6. Fox has retired the last 5 he's faced and really settled down after allowing the leadoff homer in the 1st. 1-0 Giants here in the 4th. Fox misses outside. Count 2-0. Fox threw 71 pitches in each of his last 2 outings. See if they can stretch him a little farther today. It's been pretty efficient. 3 strikeouts, including 2 in that 1-2-3 third. Gave up 5 runs in 4 innings on January 1st against Canberra. Took a no decision, and then a no decision on January 8th at Sydney. 3 2/3 of 1-run ball. Fly ball to deep center. Whitefield got turned around, but he makes the grab on the track. 1 up, 1 down.
And he just always makes it look so easy in center field. The wind kind of took a hold of that late. Even if he's turned around like that, he still just always seems to find himself in perfect position.
We've seen a lot of center fielders in this ballpark get turned around. It's not an easy center field to navigate because of the wind. You never really know which way the wind is going to blow the baseball because the wind direction changes so often. Here's Kirion, struck out swinging on 3 pitches. And he swings at the first pitch here, bloops one into shallow center, but Whitefield's there. It hangs up for him. 2 gone.
Wind aided a little bit, but great speed from Whitefield and a really good route to the baseball. He just saw that perfectly out of the air and, again, making it look easy.
The Aces look sharp defensively today. No errors last night for the Aces. And the pitching staff did not walk a batter. So between no errors, error-free baseball, clean baseball, and the pitchers not allowing any free passes, there was just 1 hit by pitch. I mean, that's a recipe for a win, and the Aces got the win last night.
Yeah, I mean, when your defense, when you're pitching, when they don't give up anything, you know, the Adelaide Giants scored all their runs off of homers yesterday. If that's the only thing you can do to hit the ball, you have to pray for a long ball. That means you're doing something right as a team, and that's a big reason why the Aces went home victorious last night.
Here's Jared Carr with 2 down. Not only that, the 3 relievers that got the final 9 outs of the game, John Kennedy and Blake Townsend and Dan McGraw, needed just 27 pitches to do it. Well, Jack Fox is absolutely locked in right now. Another 1-2-3 inning fastball upstairs takes care of Carr. He's retired 8 in a row, and the Aces will head back to the dugout looking to get on the board. They trailed the Giants 1-0 through 3.5, bottom 4 after a quick break on Aces TV.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
Jake Skoll, Daryl George, and Chris Burke, 3-4-5 for the Aces against lefty Jack O'Loughlin here in the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Giants. Aces out hitting the Giants 3-2, but no runs on the board. Dale Skoll with singles in the first, and then Osborne doubled in the second. The Aces haven't been able to get anyone across. The lone run of the game came on Nick Ward's leadoff homer in the first. It's his second homer of the series. The long ball has helped the Giants throughout this 4-game set. The Aces looking to make it 3 straight wins today, looking to keep their playoff hopes alive. They need a win and a Perth loss. And if that happens, Josh, the Aces can control their own destiny. But right now, Perth leading Canberra 8-6, but you never know.
Anything can happen. The Aces certainly, after the last 2 nights, seem to be trending upward. The bats really coming alive, the pitching coming up big when it needed to. McGraw has been lights out since coming back from injury. and he's really turned into the Aces de facto closer. So things going right, but they can't help Canberra, just not able to contend with Perth right now.
2-run game going to the bottom of the 6th. The Cavalry will hit in the bottom half of the inning. Going to work a comeback. Chopper to first. Wingrove takes care of Skull. 3 unassisted for out number 1. Pitching's been great today. O'Loughlin, 3+ solid innings now, 1-2-3 third. And Jack Fox, ever since the Ward homer to lead off the game, he's been money. Fox has set down 8 Giants hitters in a row. He's allowed just 2 hits and 1 walk in his 3rd start of the year. Here's Darryl George, bounced into a 4-3 double play his first time up. Big home run in game 2 of this series. That got the Aces on the board early in that one.
And his last Sunday game here at Melbourne Ballpark, he hit one over the batter's eye. Certainly would like to see another one of those.
That's definitely up there for longest home runs of the season for the Aces. 0-1. And the other that comes to mind is the one that Robson hit off the scoreboard.
Yeah, that would have gone a lot further if it didn't nearly poke a hole right under the 10th inning mark in that scoreboard.
1-1 tapped foul. th game of the season for Georgie. He looks to get going. 4 homers, 3 doubles, 13 ribbies. Tough year for him. Battled the oblique injury earlier in the season. The guy who is the reigning Helms Award winner in the ABL. Chopper to the left side. Spence takes care of it. 2 gone.
Aces bats quieting down after the big first 2 innings, but Chris Burke might be the hottest Aces bat over these last couple of days. He has been tearing the cover off the baseball since that Sydney series.
6 in a row set down by O'Loughlin. Burke takes a breaking ball off the plate. It's 1-0. Burke has the OPS at 776. Good number there. Some extra base pop in his bat as of late. On the season now, 7 extra base hits, and he's driven in 8. Continues to get on base regardless of where he's hitting. Last night out of the leadoff spot, he went 2 for 4 with a pair of singles, a walk, and he scored 2 runs. Swings at one down in the dirt there. It's 1-2. Previous night he went 1 for 4 with a single and a walk and a run out of the leadoff spot. So producing anywhere you stick him. Big cut there, and the inning is over. Another 1-2-3 frame, 7 in a row set down by O'Loughlin. He's locked in. And after 4 full, the Aces still trail 1-0. Keeping an eye on a close game here, keeping an eye on a close game in Canberra. Take a quick break. Josh will take over on the play-by-play. But first, a word from a couple of our sponsors here on Aces TV. Makers of Dasher and Fisher began in 2017 with a vision to specialize in gins that speak of place and express Tasmania's remoteness and untouched beauty. Taste the rich, fertile soils and pure Cradle Mountain snowmelt in every drop of Dasher and Fisher Tasmanian gin. Crew fitness and performance has a more than vision. What drives the Crew team and its members is a dedication to community and an eagerness to be surrounded by a personal growth culture. Stop into their location in Braybrook or Hoppers Crossing to see for yourself. Aces fans, now is the time to save on Aces memberships for next season. Save an average of $65 per membership when you sign up today with early bird pricing. Reserve your seat anywhere in the ballpark and save big when you come to Melbourne Ballpark this weekend and sign up with our staff. This offer is only available for a limited time, so come to a game and sign up now with details starting as low as $20. Come watch the Aces live and score big for next year.
Top of the 5th inning. Mike is going to take a little break on the broadcast, and I'll be joined by the third member of our broadcast team, and Ed Wyatt. Josh Sperber here on the play-by-play as the Aces trail the Giants 1-0 heading into the top of the 5th inning. It's been another pitcher's duel at Melbourne Ballpark. O'Loughlin has 4 scoreless, and after a solo shot in the first inning, Jack Fox has not allowed another Adelaide run since, bringing up a 7, 8, and 9 due-up for Adelaide here in the 5th inning. Jordan McArdle, Liam Spence, and Ryan January for the Giants, as the Aces fighting to keep their season alive, getting a little help from Canberra. They're only down by 1 now in the bottom of the 6th against Perth. Cole Roederer up in an 8-7 ball game with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Here in Melbourne, though, it's 0-1 count to McArdle. Now 0-2 as he fouls it off his foot. And as we mentioned, we'll keep a very close eye on that Canberra game. Just 3 innings left to go in that one, and Canberra has the benefit of last licks. The 0-2. Hit high in the air out to right center field. Whitefield going back on the track, and he's looking for it, and that ball hits off the batter's eye. Jordan McArdle, a 3rd straight game with a home run, and Adelaide has its first run since the first inning. 2-0 the score, both coming on solo shots.
Bad time for me to jump in the booth with you, Josh. Unfortunately, McArdle does have that power. He's had it for years, and with a little bit of a breeze blowing out, puts that thing over the fence. That's tough.
Yeah, you just saw Whitefield kind of shrug his shoulders because the wind took that one. That looked like it was going to be a liner, maybe off the wall. Even McArdle, you saw his face on that replay. He didn't think that was going out either. Turned into a homer to dead center. That's a no-doubter, though. A rocket off the bat of Liam Spence. The Giants go back-to-back, and the Aces in trouble. 3 home runs, 2 of them to start off the 5th.
It's a funny old game, isn't it, Josh? 2 straight, 3 up, 3 down innings for Fox, and then bang, back-to-back home runs here in the 5th inning. Just as Canberra closes the gap, the Aces fall behind here, 3-zip.
Aces still have time to come back. Canberra still down 8-7. A 1-run game there, a 3-run game here. And now Ryan January swings and misses at a breaking ball.
January trying to look like he was going for a third straight home run, a big swing and a miss.
Yeah, he has struggled to put bat on ball in this series. Only time he reached base, as we mentioned earlier, he was hit by a pitch in the 7th inning of yesterday's game. Now faces an 0-2 count as Fox really needs this out here.
Yeah, it needs this out here. Shut him down. 3 is not insurmountable. We've seen in this series a couple of times.
The 0-2. Hit on the ground, foul. Saw the Aces come back from a 2-run deficit yesterday. Immediately off the bat of 2 homers in the top of the 3rd inning. Or 2 runs. Well, actually, yeah, 2 homers as well. The Aces came back and scored 3 of their own to give themselves the lead for good yesterday. 0-2. Called strike 3. Jack Fox dots the I on the outside corner, and he gets a big out with his 5th strikeout of the ball game.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. Take care of business, get the next 2 guys, and then you got to get some runs. Let the bats do the talking.
Well, the Aces' only game they didn't play from behind was on Friday, but even in that, 5-run lead. They lose it in the top of the 6th.
Yeah.
They go down a run in the 10th inning and have to come back, ending up in a spectacular walk-off off the bat of Jared Dale as the curveball misses outside to Nick Ward.
Don't know if you and Mike have talked about it at all, but another phenomenal crowd, one of the biggest Sunday crowds we've seen here in a long time.
As we mentioned, 5,000 plus in and out of Melbourne Ballpark this weekend. The biggest series attendance-wise that we have done in the history of the club.
Yeah, it's tremendous. It's been great. Great tribute to the fans, obviously, for coming out, but also the Aces marketing crew and you guys for just kind of spreading the word and hustling to get the word out there.
Just a truly phenomenal staff, top to bottom, here in Melbourne, and that definitely a big part of what has made the season so successful in terms of fan engagement, as Nick Ward swings and misses over the top of breaking ball.
And you know what's great? I've been down in the sort of the VIP area, and the people down in the service is so great.
Yeah.
I mean, you come out here to the ballpark, you're going to be treated right, no doubt about it.
2-1 now to Ward. Fox deals. Ward hits this one the other way and foul. Hopefully that doesn't hit someone's car.
Well, we've got cars. I can't remember the last time I've seen cars parked in right center field on a Sunday.
And a crowd of 1,543 here at Melbourne Ballpark on a Sunday. Still not even the biggest crowd of the weekend. And another strikeout for Jack Fox, getting a wave and a whiff from Nick Ward, second of the inning and 6th overall today. 2 gone for the Giants to bring up Michael Martinez.
Looks like we might have a pinch hitter here.
Yeah.
Josh.
That is Ian Walters taking the place of Michael Martinez. Could be something to do with... No, because he came to bat after that. I'm just in my own head here. Not sure what brings out Martinez. He has been a mainstay in the 2-hole and at the shortstop spot all series long for Adelaide, as Ian Walters goes around too far for a called strike.
So I wonder if Walters goes to short, or does he go back to third where he's played for most of the series, and then Spence maybe shifts to short?
Spence is a primary shortstop, but we'll see quickly. This one chopped to first. Osborne's going to take it himself. And after 2 home runs, Fox retires the next 3 in order to get to the halfway point of this ball game. 2 runs on 2 hits, nobody stranded for the Giants. They've got a 3-0 lead as we reach the halfway mark. Bottom of the 5th coming up, the Aces with some work to do.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, we have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a Sporting Globe.
Your favourite meals from Light and Easy's new spring menu and enjoy amazing food, more free time and a healthier life. No shopping or cooking and no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, delicious meals delivered to your door. Order today.
Create the perfect look for your home with U-Blind's once-a-year stock take sale. For 2 weeks only, all U-Blind's products are half price. Yes, half price. U-Blind's Australia. More value for you. Head to ublinds.com.au.
Bottom of the 5th inning, 2 homers in the last one for Adelaide, and Jack O'Loughlin is looking really good on the mound for the Giants. First pitch misses to Whitefield. Defensive change after the pinch hitter. Liam Spence will move from third to short, and Ian Walters will take his customary spot at third base. Whitefield inside out, one's foul, and it's 1-1. And this is more what I'm used to in terms of Liam Spence. As I've mentioned, I got to see his professional debut with the South Bend Cubs back in 2021.
I didn't know that.
And he was drafted as a middle infielder, played primarily shortstop at Tennessee, but he's been quite a utility man for Adelaide this season.
Happens a bit in the ABL, I think. You get thrown into these different positions. We've seen that with the Aces over the years.
We've seen J.D. Osborne, the guy in the on-deck circle. He's played just about everywhere. Played in left field, first and third, as well as behind the plate. 2-2 to Whitefield. Chopper up the middle. Spence is going to get his first hand at short. Quick throw to first. Gets the speedy Whitefield. No, it pulls him off the bag. Just taking Rickson Wingrove off the bag, and it seems like Liam Spence is going to have a bit of an adjustment over at shortstop. We'll take another look here.
Yeah, I did see him pull that foot. I think it's the right call. It's a big stretch. Can't quite get there.
You can see the tip of his cleats just coming off the corner of that first base bag.
Yeah, this might be a better angle when we get a look at it here. Sets up. Here comes the throw. It's a little bit off to his right. Keeping on that right foot. Just, tough to see on that angle.
Even better there. There you can see it.
That's a better angle. You're right.
More phenomenal camera work from Sportscast Australia. I believe that is an E6.
Yes.
Yep, it's an E6. So Spence gets the third run of the game for Adelaide, but puts a dangerous runner on first base. First base runner the Giants have allowed since the second inning. And that man is up at the plate right now in J.D. Osborne. He doubled with 2 outs, and he was the last man on base for Melbourne.
That might be one of those little breaks we catch here, or the Aces catch, with Spence shifting to short and having to make that play just a tiny bit off.
Aces need all the breaks they can get.
Indeed.
I do expect Whitefield to steal. He's got a big lead, dancing towards second. He goes, and it's a nice hit and run. J.D. Osborne pokes it into left field, and Whitefield turns around second base, gets all the way to third, and now they've got Osborne caught in a pickle. They're throwing it back to third base to keep Whitefield on, and Osborne goes to second. You talk about things breaking the Aces' way, right there is one of them.
That's an odd decision to go to third there. Well, you've got a 3-0 lead. I think you get the guy in the rundown, don't you? Interesting decision here. We're going to look at it.
We'll take a look. There's just a perfectly executed hit and run. That we can just lock it, set it in stone. And the throw got past the second baseman, Ward, which caused some commotion. Osborne caught in between first and second, and I believe it was Wingrove's decision to throw it over to third to try and get Whitefield. And instead of having 1 out with a runner on third, nobody's out, and the tying run is at the plate.
Yeah, it was I just figure, if it's a 1-run game, I get it. Cut that lead runner off, but it wasn't like they really had Whitefield in a bad situation.
So the mound visit will end. And Matt O'Neill comes up in a big spot for the Aces. Nobody out. Aces desperately in need of runs in the bottom of the 5th. Osborne on second, Whitefield on third, and Matt O'Neill in a position to tie it. First pitch, upstairs with a fastball, 1-0. And I wouldn't be surprised if they pitched around O'Neill here. Khalil still a very good bat, but not as much power as Matt O'Neill.
Yeah, it's a really good point.
Already with a high fastball. And now the lefty O'Loughlin deals. 1-0 hit high in the air and foul. Going back in the zone against O'Neill there, who has been in spots like this before. Plenty of times in the minor leagues, in the Mets system. He's in his 4th year with the New York Mets minor league system. But the second game of this season, he had one of the biggest hits of the year for the Aces. 1-1. Swing and a miss over the top of a fastball, and it's 1-2. That Geelong Korea game, it's something that honestly we just can't stop talking about because it's still one of the greatest things I've seen on a baseball diamond. A walk-off grand slam in the 13th.
Yeah.
A game that in total lasted 5 hours in terms of gameplay, but extended over parts of 2 days. Breaking ball misses low, and the count's 2-2 to the Aces catcher.
That's a good eye from O'Neill right there.
The catcher's eye for sure.
Oh, yeah, this situation, he'd be tempted to have a cut at that and 1-2 count, but good discipline.
2-2 the count. 2-1, nobody out for the Aces. They trail 3-0 here in the 5th. O'Loughlin deals. Swing and a miss, and there's strike 3. A big first out for the Giants, but George Khalil, a guy who is really improved his hitting as over the course of the season, will come up to the plate for Melbourne.
Had a hit yesterday, had 3 hits on Friday, 3 for 4.
Khalil got his first homer of the season against Adelaide back in Adelaide in round 3 of the season. And he's strung together a couple hits on his hit streak for the Aces. Oh, first pitch, Khalil swings and misses an inside breaking ball, and it's 0-1.
Keeping an eye on that Perth-Adelaide game. It's still 8-7 Perth, bottom of 7. But the Cavalry do have a man on second with no outs.
Khalil has reached base once or more in each game this series. One of the 2 doubles for the Aces on Friday. 3 hits on Friday, the double on Thursday. And last night, he singled and walked. Now faces a 1-1 count. Good speed on the bases. A homer could tie it, and Khalil has 2 of those this season. Both, though, have come away from Melbourne Ballpark. 1-1. Called strike 2, the breaking ball on the outside corner, and a close call there.
Just nipped the corner, I think. Very tight. Big pitch here coming up, 1-2 count.
You'd like to see the Aces put a run across with 1 out. You don't want the added pressure of 2 outs in the inning. But with runners in scoring position, the Aces need something to happen here. That should be deep enough for a run. Into right field, foul territory, but it's going to go out of play. McArdle was giving chase, and I think it would have been smart for him to let that drop if it stayed in playable foul territory.
That corner there is pretty notorious for the breeze, sort of blowing it into that all-star bar area. I can probably count on one hand the number of times I've seen a foul ball caught down that right field line.
I think it's happened like 2 or 3 times this season.
Yeah.
All when Skoll's been in right field. So the count stays 1-2 to Khalil. O'Loughlin deals. Hit the other way and foul. Khalil zeroing in.
Staying alive.
You like the defensive at bat. Sooner or later, another pitch comes in the strike zone. You want to see him hit green grass with it.
The Aces dugout all dialed in on this one. Big moment in the game. Crowd ready to explode.
You can feel the tension in the crowd.
Sure can.
Feel the excitement. 1-2. Hit into right center field. Going back is Carr. He makes the grab, and Whitefield is going to head home. Osborne's going to third. The throw pulls the third baseman off the bag and sends Whitefield into the dugout with the first run of the ball game. 3-1 the score, and George Khalil a productive second out.
Saw Khalil kind of slap his hands together. Obviously, he wanted that thing to travel a little bit further, but he does his job, gets a run in, and we still got a runner on third with 2 outs.
And that's all you want to do. Khalil wanted that to be just a little bit more to the right in the gap there, but Carr, we've seen him make some fantastic plays out in center field. And now the tying run is named Jared Dale, who has done nothing but rake for the Aces this series. First pitch inside, ball 1.
Yeah, he has been absolutely on fire. Great to see.
The walk-off on Friday, 3 hits, tying for the Aces season high last night. 7 multi-hit games for Dale. An 8th would be big. And there it is. Jared Dale delivers again. Osborne will walk home, and the Aces are within 1 run of the Giants. An RBI single with 2 outs for Jared Dale, and he continues to produce.
Unbelievable how he's just so focused at the moment. Just absolutely roping that ball.
The tying run on first base, and now the manager for the Giants, Chris Adamson, will come up to the mound and take the ball from his starter, Jack O'Loughlin. A difficult task for the relief pitchers of the Giants as we have our first punt 1-2-3 call to the bullpen. We're going to take a quick break before we let you know about the right-hander coming in to face Robbie Glendinning. The Aces get themselves within view. 3-2 the score, 2 outs in the 5th.
Got
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Create the perfect look for your home with Ublinds once-a-year stock take sale. For 2 weeks only, all Ublinds products are half price. Yes, half price. Ublinds Australia. More value for you. Head to ublinds.com.au.
A big inning so far for the Aces, and it is not done. Luke Wilkins is the new pitcher for the Giants as the Aces chase Jack O'Loughlin, who had a really solid start. And bigger news not in Melbourne Ballpark, the Canberra Cavalry taking the lead in the bottom of the seventh. 9-8 is the lead over the Perth Heat. Tillman Pugh, a 2-run blast in the first pitch he saw in the bottom seventh.
There it is. Just to remind folks, Canberra win, Aces win. The Aces are still alive going into that Tuesday makeup game against Geelong, Korea.
So Dale is the responsibility of Jack O'Loughlin. Robbie Glendinning is the first hitter that Wilkins will see. A 1-0 record in what is now his 9th appearance, 6th coming out of the pen for the Giants. 5.16 ERA for the right-hander. Dale's leading off first base. First pitch to Glendinning, a breaking ball upstairs.
A little bit of sunshine starting to break through here at the ballpark as well, Josh. So just keep an eye on if that affects any of the outfielders or anybody on a pop-up. Probably won't, but it is certainly getting a little brighter here. There he goes.
Off to the races is Dale. The ball slips out of January's hand, and it's a stolen base for Jared Dale. The pitch was a strike to Glendinning, but the tying run is now on second base, and what more can we say about Dale?
Well, yesterday, too, we had we had a stolen base, a pass ball, a couple of wild pitches, those little things we talk about that sort of help you in the course of a game. And here's another one with a stolen base from Dale.
So it's a 1-1 to Glendinning. Upstairs with the heater, 2-1. O'Loughlin could still get the win, can't get the loss. Actually, can't get the win because he didn't go the full 5. 2-1, settles on the inside corner for a called strike. A potential to add a third earned run. Currently, one of his 2 runs is earned. 5 hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts in 4 2/3. Glendinning trying to extend the 5th. 2 runs already home. 2-2. Did he go? And they're going to say he did not.
No.
Oof. Really close pitch. A hard fastball missing outside, and the count is full to the Aces batting leader. Leads the team in most batting categories, including homers and RBIs. The payoff pitch. Inside, and there's ball 4. The go-ahead run now on base for the Aces. And a big bat of Jake Stoll looking to make some noise here in Melbourne.
That is a great at-bat from Robbie. Absolutely brilliant.
Didn't try to do too much.
No.
He waited for his pitch, didn't get one he wanted to turn on, so he took a couple of pitches outside and got himself on base to a very reliable hitter. Skoll in all but 3 games here at Melbourne Ballpark has reached base, and last night might have been his best game here. Couple of big hits, including a double in the 7th, that ended up being the difference against Adelaide. First pitch high and tight for ball 1.
Had a big night that finished with an interview with you down on the field. Can't get any bigger than that.
I'm going to disagree with you there. I think that was his least favorite part of the night. Always enjoy talking to Jake about baseball, though. A guy who has not just been there, done it all in baseball, but in sports. His Georgia Bulldogs put the hurt on TCU.
Yeah.
He won a Sugar Bowl with them
Is that right?
a couple years
Didn't
ago.
know that.
Played mainly on the practice squad of Georgia's team. Won a couple of awards, of team awards, as the best scout team player for Georgia. Playing defensive
good
end.
athlete, no doubt about it.
And it is absolutely showed here.
Yeah.
He has hit just a hair under 300 with a home run and a couple of RBIs since joining Melbourne for the Brisbane series in December. Another Savannah Banana. One of the driving forces behind Jack Fox joining the Banana Ball World Tour this upcoming year. Oh, that was a close pitch, low and in, but it's a called strike and a 2-2 count now to Jake Skoll.
Been a few of them in this inning, a few very close pitches. Some have gone the Aces' way, some haven't.
And Skoll, another guy with a great start to his Aces career, went 8 for 14 in that Brisbane series, including a hit in all 4 games. Turned on and fouled. Count is going to stay 2-2.
Just saw a gentleman walking a Great Dane through the crowd. Do you think that dog had to pay? That's a big dog.
That dog was bigger than I was.
Yeah, he was huge. I think maybe $5 or maybe a dog. You know, they sell dog memberships here for the footy teams. Have like pet memberships.
Awesome.
So maybe the Aces will look into that.
It's a good idea. Hope Justin's listening. 2-2 to Skoll. 2 outs, 2 runs across, and time is called. Every time I see a big dog, though, when I was with South Bend, we did a bark at the park, and we had a camera in the booth. So we jokingly interviewed a dog in one of the innings, and my friend Kyle Arnett, who's a camera person for South Bend, said he was going to bring in the biggest dog he could find. 2-2. Low and inside, the count's full to Skoll. I thought he was kidding because he pointed at this, I think it was a Great Dane, that had to be at least 5 feet tall. It was massive. The broadcast booth in South Bend, not very big. And we had to keep the door open because with the dog's tail, it like wouldn't have fully fit in the booth. Payoff pitch, runners go, and Skoll extends the at-bat with another foul ball. And, yeah, Kyle delivered. And that massive Great Dane spent, I think it was like 2 outs. I don't think it was a full half inning. But full inning with a big Great Dane slobbering on my leg.
Did he provide more insight than I've provided on these broadcasts?
That's pretty close, but my memory's not that good.
Here we go again.
Another full count to Skoll. Off go the runners. Swing and a miss. And there's strike 3. But damage still done for Melbourne. They bring themselves within a run of the Giants with a big 5th inning. They score 2 on 2 hits, 1 error, and leave 2 on board after this strike 3 to Jake Skoll. We'll head into the 6th inning here. The Aces trail 3-2 against Adelaide.
Oh, we've been there for every game of 4 and 25. When Meatloaf overcooked it and Gregan saved that try. When Brownie takes one for the team and Bradley skated by. This golden crusty pastry watched as Taylor kick the sky. When Ben Simmons makes a 3, we give a big high five. What future sport looks like just won't be run without a pie. Oh, what a lovely time he makes a 4 and 25. Oi!
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
5 innings from Jack Fox, and that's going to be enough for him. Keeps the Aces in the ball game, can't get the win, but he will step aside for the big lefty, Evan Rutsky, in the first punt 1-2-3 call to the bullpen for the Melbourne Aces. Fox, a solid outing, but was hit by the home run bug. 3 solo shots from Adelaide to give them a 3-2 lead. 1 hit otherwise, though. 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. His season high for the Aces. Another solid outing from Jack.
Kind of been the thing with the Adelaide Giants using the long ball. Aces have done it a different way, but Adelaide, McArdle in particular, very, very dangerous with the big bat.
So the starters combined for 11 punch-outs, and Fox has 11 in his last 2 games after 5 Ks in the win against Sydney. But 3-4-5 for the Adelaide Giants and a 3-2 lead for the Aces heading into the 6th.
Here comes a guy that Nick Batters and I must have gotten wrong so many times. Rickson Wingrove. The number of times they called him Wixon Ringrove, I can't count.
You practiced that in the mirror before you left your house today, didn't you?
Probably. I didn't know he was going to be on. He just got added.
A push bunt to try and beat the shift goes foul. It's 0-1.
Rickson Wingrove. Not easy to say.
If you're watching at home, we want you to say that 10 times fast.
Yes.
Ed Wyatt's going to join you because apparently he needs the practice. 0-1 count to Rickson as Evan Rutsky, another name that's not easy to pronounce, but that's more just looking at the spelling of it. You can kind of see on the jersey there. 0-1, cut on and missed. A nasty looping curve makes it 0-2.
Yeah, Rutckyj.
Yeah.
I remember when I first saw that. I thought, glad you two guys are calling the games.
I wrote his press release when the Aces initially signed him, and I remember telling myself, I'm not going to actually try and pronounce it until I meet the guy. Rickson pokes this one into right center field and a leadoff single for the Giants. Their first leadoff hit since last inning, but their first leadoff hit that's not a home run.
That's a nice hit, too, because they had the shift on, playing very deep. That first time, he grounded right to Khalil, who was actually into the outfield with the way that shift is. But he just found the gap right between shortstop and second. Beautifully placed hit from Wingrove.
He tried the push bunt at first, something that I saw a lot when I was with South Bend. A teammate of Liam Spence's, Jonathan Perlaza, who's now up in Double-A Tennessee, would do that every now and again. But Wingrove goes for a hit the old-fashioned way, and now it's an 0-1 count to the former ace in Quincy Lattimore, who I understand joined you guys in the broadcast a couple times during that championship season.
When he was injured, he did spend some time up here. Very nice guy.
0-1 count to Lattimore. Misses outside, 1-1.
Very low-key, one of those guys that comes on, provides a real good insight, but doesn't take over the broadcast, or also isn't afraid to say things. He's very, very, very good on air.
And very good on the field as well.
Well,
He's
that too.
been a pro baseball player for 16 years now. Started in 2007, a 4th-round pick of the Pirates. Rutsky looks over at first, now deals the 1-1. Called strike with a fastball touching the outside corner to make it 1-2.
That's one of the great things about the ABL, too. You get a guy like Lattimore who's very talented, but has been around, can provide a lot, and is great entertainment value as well. He's not just an old guy coming out here to pick up a paycheck. He's contributing in so many ways. The ABL's full of guys like that.
We've seen him with extra hits in each of the first 3 games of this round 9. 1-2. Missing upstairs, 2-2. Today, though, 2 flyouts to Aaron Whitefield in center. And Rutsky coming off what might be his best series, as we're at the top of the 9th in Canberra. Last chance for the Heat
here
as
we go.
The Cavs lead at 9-8. So we'll keep an eye on that throughout the next inning or 2. Rutsky looks at first, now the 2-2. Just missing low and away, and the count's full to Lattimore.
So the cavalry can hang on, and we get the word down to the Aces dugout. We're still in this thing, guys. We need a run. 2 runs.
Yeah, that might have to be your job once Mike comes back on.
Absolutely, I'll do it.
So a former Giant against a former Ace. Payoff pitch, wave and a whiff, strike 3. Evan Rutsky showing off that nasty curve to get a big punch out for out number 1.
Yeah, I was just going to say that fooled him badly with that breaking ball.
And that curve has just gotten better and better over the course of this season. And just the movement, the drop on that pitch is just so captivating. And big for the first out on the big bat of Quincy Lattimore. Now Anthony Kirion, the team's leader in batting average, hitting just north of 370 this season. He takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Wingrove has the oven mitt on first base. Help with aerodynamics in terms of sliding. It said that, I forget the technical name for it. It just looks like an oven mitt, so I've just been used to calling it that.
I love that. When did that become vogue? How long's that been around?
A couple years.
Yeah.
It hasn't been too long.
Yeah.
The only really concrete fact I know about it is that it's supposed to add like 4 inches to your slide or something like that.
It's very strange.
2-0 count to Kirion. Rutsky looking at first, and the pitch. Called strike, fastball on the outside corner. And when you have a curve with that much movement, your fastball can just be hand-delivered to the plate, and it'll still look like it's in the high 90s. A really hard-working hurler on the mound. Rutsky stayed in Melbourne during the 11-day holiday break and just worked every single day. 2-1, swing and a miss, breaking ball, up and away, and it's 2-2.
So it's just him, you, and Aussie Mike working out over that break.
Well,
yeah?
I wasn't there because
okay.
That wouldn't have looked good for me. I think Rutsky can probably, do any of his workouts just using me as one of the weights. I don't want to embarrass myself like that. But, yeah, he was hitting the gym at Crew Fitness every day, coming to the ballpark, throwing every day.
Yeah, that's impressive.
A guy who, as we mentioned, was here in the ABL back in 2019. And he said that when he was with Adelaide, he did take some time doing some traveling with the Giants, but now recently turned 30. He just is here to work. He's here to try and get himself back into the minor leagues, and he used that 11-day break as a time to really hone his craft and spend some extra time in the gym. And it's paying off. A great second half to the season for Rutsky. The kick and the pitch. Wave and a whiff, strike 3. Another looping curve and another swinging strike 3 here in the bottom of the 6th. 2 gone for the Giants. Jared Carr coming up.
Yeah, that's great stuff. Looking out, surveying this crowd again that we talked about. Just been a remarkable series. Just kind of one of those things where you look out and you go, can the season go a little bit longer? Could we get a few more home games?
I was thinking about this. I'd love another, just one round of home games in the regular season.
Yep.
That'd be great. It's too short. I'm not ready to leave Australia yet. Left on left matchup, and don't know if that hit the pad or the bat, but either way, Jared Carr's going to first base, and I think it did hit the elbow pad.
Yep.
But you definitely heard something. So batters now hit in consecutive nights.
Yeah.
Both of them coming with 2 outs. This one puts 2 on for Jordan McArdle, who hit his 3rd homer of the series in his last time up.
Yeah, that's one of those things. You would like to get Carr rather than put Carr on base and now face the big bat of Jordan McArdle. I mean, I know that's obvious, but just one of those little things.
Another left on left matchup for Rutsky. McArdle's got a 3-game homer streak. Here's the pitch. Fastball missing upstairs, 1-0.
Flag still blowing that sort of general direction, so you get the feeling if he gets one out towards right center or center, it could get a little lift.
And we saw that home run was a bit wind-aided from him, the one that hit the batter's eye in the last inning. It's the curveball a little too far inside, 2-0. A 5-pitch mix for Rutsky, primarily relying on the fastball and curve. A 4-seam and a 2-seam splitter and a change for Evan. And as we have a mound visit, Matt O'Neill comes to talk to Rutsky. Ed Wyatt's going to give us an update on Canberra and Perth.
Yeah, well, it's still 9-8. Canberra leading in the top of the ninth. Perth's last at-bat, 2 outs. So if Canberra can get this final out and win it 9-8, the Aces are still alive. They will have to win this game, however.
And it would be so great to see the Aces winning today, winning on Tuesday in Geelong, setting up essentially a winner-take-all series against Perth.
That's all you can ask for at this point.
2-0 count now, 2 on and 2 outs. The pitch. Mound visit yields ball 3 as the fastball just kind of swirling out of the strike zone.
And don't forget, as you mark that on your calendars, it'll be in Perth, so a few hours late. It'll be a late start. So a couple of late evenings watching the Aces hopefully stay alive.
Still have to get through today and Tuesday.
True.
3-0 pitch. McArdle goes for it and fouls it away. And that just shows Adelaide is looking to put the Aces away. You can really feel the rivalry in this game. They would love nothing more than to be the reason that the 2-time defending champions aren't back to defend their title.
They're absolutely right.
The most recent title, the Aces beat Adelaide. 3-1. Hit up the middle to Rutsky, and he is just going to pick it up and calmly throw it to first base. A 2-out hit by pitch. No problem for Evan Rutsky. Fielding the position to perfection, showing off the reaction time. And Rutsky ends off the top of the 6th. No runs on a hit, 2 left, but the Aces still are a run down. 3-2 the score as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning.
Well, let's come around here. Welcome to Kids Care. Thank you very much. Here's another couple. Kids.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station.
Bottom of the 6th, and the heart of the order up for the Aces, but Daryl George takes the first pitch, a called strike. It's George, Burke, and Whitefield, and I don't know if there's a better do-up than that if you're the Aces. Here's the 0-1. That one is popped into foul territory down the first base line, but it'll end up a souvenir. Almost a really nice catch made by a fan.
I'm going to give him an E. An E guy in the red and blue Aces jacket.
E fan.
But good news is he handed it to a young kid, and the kid's got a souvenir from today's game.
Always want to give it to a kid.
That's great. Love it.
I think one of my favorite sound effects I've ever seen in a baseball stadium was with South Bend. They had to give it to a kid chant on their on their sound system.
That's great.
Whenever a foul ball was hit. George swings and misses at a breaking ball. One out here in the 6th. Chris Burke will come to the plate, looking to extend his on-base streak to 7 games.
Looks like that's a final in Canberra. Canberra 9, Perth 8. So that means the Aces win here and they're still alive. This is huge.
All right, so
huge.
you got to run down to the dugout. Let them know.
Here I go.
9-8. The pitcher, Josh Reddick, ends up as the final out. He actually got on the mound last night in that 14-1 victory, but Canberra splits with Perth, and the Aces still alive here despite trailing by a run.
Big thanks to the Canberra Cavalry for keeping this exciting, keeping the Aces' hopes alive.
Some respect to their former teammate and Cavs legend in Steve Kent.
That's right.
I'm sure he probably had something to say to his former teammates after last night.
You bet.
A 1-1 count to Burke, who has been on a tear as of late. The pitch. Hit the other way foul, 1-2. 6-game on base streak. Reached base with a hit in all but one of those games. And that hit streak started with a crucial home run against Sydney. A go-ahead solo shot in the 7th inning of a doubleheader. That ended up being the winning run. 1-2. This is hit high in the air out to center field. Carr's going back and will settle under it in left center for the out, number 2. So Burke's been hitting the ball well when he's been making contact today, but unable to get himself on the board. 2 away now for Aaron Whitefield, who scored the first run of the game for the Aces in the 5th. Scoring on that sacrifice fly by George Khalil after reaching on an error by Liam Spence in his first action as shortstop this series. First pitch to Whitefield, hit the other way, foul. Another ball souvenir for the fans in the All-Star Bar, or a souvenir for a car mechanic through a broken windshield. We'll never know. The 0-1. Buzzing the jersey of Whitefield, and the count evens at 1-1.
Just to reset, folks, Perth lost to Canberra, so if the Aces win this one and then win the Tuesday makeup game, they can go to Perth with a chance to make the playoffs.
The Aces now just have to win out.
Yes.
Called strike 2, the curve ball at the top of the zone. So you can't really say the Aces control their own destiny, but you also can.
Yeah.
Just 6 straight wins. No pressure. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
That's a good inning from Wilkins.
A really quick 1-2-3. Beginning and ended with 2 strikeouts from Wilkins. We'll head into the 7th inning. Aces trail 3-2. Ed's going to stay on the mic. Mike Marcantonini will take over and play-by-play for the 7th and the 8th.
Run down to the dugout.
I'm about to do that. We'll be right back while I lose my breath running.
Aussie gardeners are best served by Aussie tools, built specifically for our unique environment and conditions. Back in the 1890s, Leonard Chambers and William Thompson started a beekeeping supply business in Melbourne. Little would they know that their company would go on to change how Australians garden for well over a century. Cyclone is ingrained into our country's history and our way of life. Our tools are long-lasting and purpose-built for hard work.
We've been making quality tools for over a century.
They last that long, you can hand them down to the next generation. Good, quality, honest product that the Australian people have grown to love.
It's not an Aussie shed without a cyclone.
My biggest takeaway of being here for 34 years is just sense of pride in the product.
Australians buy good products. So if they keep on buying, we keep on making, so we're here.
Cyclone tools, made for Australians.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Close one here in Melbourne, 3-2 Adelaide as Evan Rutsky comes back out for the top of the 7th inning. Rutsky a clean 6th inning after 5 solid innings from Jack Fox. The Aces got the bats going. In the bottom of the 5th, they trailed 3-0, but George Khalil, a sacrifice fly. And Jared Dale, an RBI single. He stays hot at plate. So here we are, 3-2 in the 7th. Aussie Mike back in the booth. Josh taking an inning off. Ed Wyatt still with us on the broadcast. Well, Ed, I know I heard Josh mention it right before the end of the 6th. Canberra did its job for us. They got the dub over Perth.
Yep.
The Aces got to win today, and then the Aces control their own destiny if that happens.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and that's just exciting because if Perth had won today, then it was all but over, and this is kind of almost meaningless. But now there's a real opportunity, a real chance to keep that season alive. Of course, you need a couple of runs.
Rutsky looking to prevent any more runs from scoring. And then get the Aces back into the dugout with a chance to tie or take the lead. Liam Spence, Ryan January, and Nick Ward, 8-9-1 due up for Adelaide. This has been a really competitive series overall. 2 division rivals going at it. 5 hits apiece. The Giants lead it by 1. Good pitch by Rutsky, swing and a miss out of the zone.
Josh and I were talking about sort of the rivalry between these two teams, and Adelaide would really like nothing more than to knock us out of a playoff spot. You know, it's kind of a fairly close rivalry, and it has been over the years some real intense series and games between these teams, including for an ABL championship.
0-2, that's down. Well, only a little over an hour plane ride between these two teams,
Yeah.
but I learned pretty quickly that an hour plane ride could mean almost a 10-hour drive. So
absolutely right.
I went out with our assistant GM, Luke Searle, to the Adelaide series in round 3, and we drove, and what was it, like 8.5 hours? A long trek. 1-2's down.
It is, and if you know the history of Adelaide and Melbourne, the rivalry in the footy, the AFL, and the previous to that, the VFL was called the Sandful, South Australian football, and it's a very bitter, angry rivalry between the two states, and it's carried over into this as well.
Rutsky looking to put away Spence. Tall left-hander ready. Here's the pitch. Line drive, left center field. Whitefield on his horse. He won't get there. Couple hops to the base of the wall, and Spence will make the turn around first and pull into second with a leadoff double.
Not the hardest hit you'll ever see, but it had a perfect placement. It was pretty much a stand-up double.
Yeah, off the bat, I mean, he didn't get all barrel on it. We'll take a
No.
look at the replay here.
But
You're right. I mean, nobody over there, and it got all the way to the wall.
Yeah, it just kind of looped. I was thinking it was a looper, but it actually had some distance behind it.
Flag still blowing out there in the outfield. More bullpen action for the Aces as a left-hander starts to get loose. Rutsky looking to get the first out of the 7th, looking to complete 2 full. He's been a trusted weapon out of Peter Moylan's bullpen all season. And it's so nice to have a veteran like Rutsky in the pen, especially late in the season when this team's trying to make a playoff push. A guy you can trust in these close games. You know, you trust him with a slim lead. You trust him in a tie game, or in this case, you trust him with a 1-run deficit to keep it that way. 1-0 flip foul.
We saw Kennedy, Townsend, and McGraw do it yesterday. Come out of the pen and shut down the Giants. Kind of need the same thing here today.
Rutsky last pitched 2 days ago in the Aces' walk-off win over Adelaide. A scoreless inning, gave up a hit, struck out 2 through 21 pitches. Spence out at second. That's a big insurance run for Adelaide. I just love the intensity of this game, Ed, especially now that Canberra finished off the W over Perth. I mean, you just feel it. Every pitch, you're kind of hanging on it. The atmosphere hasn't been like that all year, but this crowd is into it. We're into it. And you can see the players are locked in.
Yeah, this series has really had a playoff feel to it.
2-1, off the hands out to second. Khalil makes the grab. And Dale had to slide to make sure he didn't get decked. George Khalil puts that one away for out number 1.
Wasn't sure if that was going to loop in or not, but Khalil handled that pretty much with ease. But, I think with the big crowds, with the Aces playing better and with more on the line, as I said, this is a playoff atmosphere here at Melbourne Ballpark, and it has been since Thursday night when we saw that big Thursday crowd, massive Friday, Saturday crowds, and a huge Sunday crowd. I mean, it's just incredible.
I love it. We're refreshing web pages every 5 seconds to see what's going on elsewhere in the league. Hanging with every pitch here in Melbourne. Close games.
Yep.
With 1 out, here's Ward, chops it foul.
There have just been big moments here and there, big home runs, clutch pitching, big plays. I mean, it's just been one of those really interesting series, like you pointed out, in an extra innings game. It's just been highly entertaining.
And for regular season baseball with a postseason feel, it doesn't get much better.
No.
Doesn't matter what perspective you have, whether it's as a fan or us up here in the booth.
Agreed.
Left on left for Rutsky as he looks to keep Spence at second. The lefty takes his time. Here's the pitch. Hot shot to the right side. It's through for a base hit. Skoll got to it quickly, and he makes a good throw to the cutoff man, Osborne. First and third now for the Giants. Spence moves up 90 feet, and Ward has his second hit of the game.
Yeah, Ward's been a dangerous hitter. Got all nice swing on that one, and well played, you're right, by Skoll in right field. I don't think Spence was going anyway, but just to keep an eye on that. And there was that oven mitt that Josh and I were talking about. Really interesting trend. Must say, it's not the most attractive trend in sports, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot of the younger guys across baseball nowadays wearing them. With head-first sliding becoming much more popular, guys don't want to break their hand or jam their fingers.
Here's a question, though. Could you make it extra long so you'd have that extra little thing? What do you think?
I wonder if there's regulations on it. I don't know.
There would have to be.
I mean, there are some guys out there who, it's funny, there's some guys out there who wear 2 oven mitts. But, I get what you're saying. Get a little extra,
long,
get to the base a little quicker.
Extra.
Yeah, Peter Moylan out for a chat with Rutsky and the entire infield.
Yeah, so let's see if they play it to try and cut the run off. Do you think they'll try and do that? I think with that 1-run lead is pretty valuable at the moment.
Yeah, George is about even with the bag, maybe a step in front at third. Dale and Khalil pinching for 2 up the middle. So it looks like they'll play for the double play.
Yep.
Rutsky a move over. Well, Peter Moylan has managed his bullpen aggressively this series, and it's worked. He's done a great job mixing and matching righties and lefties. Last night we mentioned how Matt Beattie didn't have it, and he made the move right away after 8 pitches to go get a stopper. The night before, Beattie was the stopper and looked great. Pitch from Rutsky's down. And Moylan has so many weapons in that pen right now; it makes it a lot easier.
It does. He was pretty pumped, obviously, after the win yesterday, as was Graham Lloyd. I spoke with him. He just goes, the difference in a win and a loss, it just makes such a difference. I mean, it's very obvious, but, instantly you're lifted. There was such a bit better atmosphere the last couple days here after those big wins.
It's something you feel it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, that's not anything insightful, but it's just one of those emotional things where everyone's lifted. And suddenly there's hope again, right? And there's hope here as well, combined with that Canberra win over Perth.
An Aces team that controls its own destiny right now. You string a few wins together, look out. Team could be dangerous.
Yeah, baseball is a game of streaks. There's no doubt about it.
First and third for Walters. Ward takes off for second. The Aces have him picked. Throw back from Dale. They won't get him, but now they got the man caught off third. Throw down, and he got him. I don't know if the Giants were trying to steal that run by getting Warden a rundown or if Rutsky had him picked, but the Aces pick off the runner at third, Liam Spence. That's a huge out.
Yeah, it really is. Second big pickoff of the series, that one of Ward the other night in extra innings, although ultimately didn't matter. But it's a good question. I think that was I don't think that was a deliberate ploy from Adelaide.
Take a
We'll
look
have
at
a
the
look
replay.
here.
1, 3, 6, 3, 5 on the putout. 1-1 now to the left-handed swinging Walters.
Huge out. Gets rid of that lead run 90 feet away from adding to the 3-2 lead. That's massive. Mark this down, actually. We'll put a little asterisk by this. Might be a huge play in the long run.
I got it circled right now.
Good.
I'm ahead of you, Ed.
You're the man.
2 outs now in the inning, 1-2 pitch. They'll peel, no swing.
Oh.
Looked like he went.
All 9 players are pretty much headed for the dugout on that one. They have to come back now.
See the replay, yeah, he went. Jared Dale had his hands on his head out there at second base. He couldn't believe it. He had a pretty good view of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Aces trail by 1, but it feels like they have the momentum right now. Rutsky ready. The 2-2. Gets away from O'Neill. Not too far, but far enough for Ward to scamper down to second. See if they score that a wild pitch or a pass ball.
What's your gut feel on that?
I think it might go as a wild pitch.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Off the plate a little bit. Not necessarily routine, but
yep.
I'm sure if you ask O'Neill, he'd probably say he should have had it. No damage yet. Rutsky has a chance to get out of it. Payoff pitch. Got him. A half-hearted swing from Walters, and the inning's over. No runs on 2 hits, no errors. 1 man left on. After 6.5, the Aces clinging to their playoff hopes. Down 1, headed to the bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch at Melbourne Ballpark. And we will head to the bottom of the 7th. But before that, a quick message from some of our sponsors here at the Melbourne Aces. For over 45 years, Hobson's Bay Dental has delivered the best results through continually updating their skills and technology. Dr. Andrews and his team also take great pride in treating patients like family. Melbourne Aces players trust their teeth with Hobson's Bay Dental, and you should too. Business Network International is flourishing across Melbourne's West and Geelong. Local businesses, including the Aces, join BNI for professional development, networking opportunities, and to increase business prospects. Find your local BNI chapter to tap into a wealth of resources and to join a winning team. New Era Technology provides specialized IT solutions for your business around internet voice communications, managed services, as well as secure cloud hosting for data and software. Trusted by the Aces, New Era has an extensive team of engineers and sales professionals who provide hands-on collaboration that is backed by deep industry training. Well, we're having some fun at Melbourne Ballpark here on a Sunday afternoon. Jamming out to the YMCA in the crowd. We've got a packed house for the 4th straight day as the Aces and Giants play a series finale here at Melbourne Ballpark. One more home game here in the regular season for the Aces. They'll play Geelong, Korea in a makeup game this Tuesday the 17th at 7 p.m. But first business to take care of today. Ed Wyatt alongside me in the booth. I'm Aussie Mike. Josh Sperber will be back in for the 8th. 3-2 Giants, 7 hits for Adelaide, 5 for the Aces. And the Aces send up J.D. Osborne. Looks like we've got a pinch hitter in Ryan Lavarnway on deck. And then George Khalil after that, 7-8-9 due up for the Aces.
And Osborne's 2 for 2 tonight. The pinch hitter Lavarnway for O'Neill, who was 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And then Khalil, who has been hitting well in this series and had that sac fly in the 5th inning. So good chance here, you would think.
Osborne's 3 for 3, another hard hit base hit. It's his 2nd single. And the leadoff man's on in the 7th. Ed, I was just about to say, it would make a huge difference in this game if the Aces could get the leadoff man on. They've done it.
Yeah, I heard a little noise apparently on social media. Some people weren't necessarily happy with this lineup, I heard.
Ooh.
But J.D. Osborne steps in and it's 3 for 3. I think maybe those people are hiding back, moving back into the bushes at the moment after, you know, those kind of comments. Because I think, you know, Pete Moreland knows what he's doing.
The
no
Trolls
doubt
going
about
back
it.
under their bridge.
I think so.
So here's Ryan Lavarnway pinch hitting for Matt O'Neill. First pitch, ball misses a little high. So O'Neill's afternoon is done, and Lavarnway will go in to catch the rest of this one. Lavarnway's been an excellent addition to this Aces team. Brings so much to the clubhouse. Swings over a breaking ball, aside from what he does on the field.
He's a really interesting guy. Really smart guy, really thoughtful guy. But right now, we just want him to be a guy who can hit the ball hard.
Yeah. Tying runs at first, go-ahead run at the plate. Couple home runs this season for Lavarnway. He also has a double. He's driven in 4. Move over, Osborne back. 10 games this season for Lavarnway. OPS at 714. Here's a guy who, when he squares it up, it can go. He's got so much pop in that bat. A strong guy. He's just a big guy.
Yep.
He knows how to work an AB.
Yeah, I was going to say, good eye there. Aces have been very patient in this series compared to some of these earlier series where they seem to be free swinging, if you will. Some good at-bats. Glendinning, a couple innings ago, phenomenal at-bat when he earned that walk.
Ryan calls for time. He gets it. Doing battle with Luke Wilkins, who's worked an inning and a third scoreless so far. In relief of Jack O'Loughlin, who went 4 2/3, gave up 2 runs, neither earned. Struck out 5, did not walk a batter. 2-1, skips away from the catcher January. It allows Osborne to head to second. Big turnaround second, but he'll stop there. Now the tying runs in scoring position.
There we go. It's my little things theory, Mike. The little things, little breaks here and there that we have not been getting for much of the season. Seem to be getting a few of them in this series with Adelaide.
Something in the air in Melbourne right now. You feel it.
Something in the air,
Yeah.
exactly.
See what Lavarnway can do. Whether it's a hit or a productive out. Anything to get Osborne over. A lot of baseball left in this one. The Aces trail by just 1. Lavarnway pops up the 3-1 foul out of play. And the 3-2's coming up next.
Khalil on deck. Jared Dale, the red hot Jared Dale after that.
Contributors up and down this lineup 1 through 9 at the most important time of the season.
Timing has been good, I'll give you that.
3-2 on Lavarnway. Pitch from Wilkins. Lavarnway sends one in the air, deep left field. Looks like the wind will knock that one down. Lattimore makes the grab. Throw goes into third.
Yeah, it sounded good off the bat, but routine for Lattimore. And then a nice throw to third. There was no way Osborne was going to advance on that.
So the pinch hitter Lavarnway is retired. He'll stay in the ballgame to catch. And here's the 9-hole hitter, George Khalil. Khalil's hit safely in 4 straight, looking to make it 5. First pitch from Wilkins is down.
Little opposite field single right about now would be great. Little right center field smack.
That would be on brand for George. He's so good at shooting the ball the other way.
Indeed.
Wilkins has slowed his pace down. Here's the 1-1. Almost clipped Khalil's jersey.
That was very close to hitting. Looked like it ruffled the
This is
bit of a
one of those situations late in the game where everybody's got to puff out their jersey a little bit. crowd the plate a bit. Khalil sends one in the air. This one's deep to left as well.
At the same spot.
Pretty much the same spot. You're right about that, Ed. Carbon copy. Lattimore makes the grab. And Wynn not helping out right now.
No, not at all when he hit it to that left field side. Tends to bring it in right field, tends to fly out.
Back to the top. It's up to Dale with 2 down.
Once again.
No better guy to have at the plate right now. 2 hits today. He's had an excellent series, and now the entire Giants infield will convene on the mound. Chris Adamson, the Giants manager, out to the pen. And he will take the ball from Luke Wilkins. We've got a pitching change at Melbourne Ballpark. 2 outs and the tying run at second. Aces trail 3-2. It's a punt 1-2-3 pitching change. We'll step away and take a quick break on the broadcast. When we come back, we'll let you know who the new pitcher is. Keep it locked right here on Aces TV.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with Punt 123. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Create the perfect look for your home with U-Blind's once-a-year stock take sale. For 2 weeks only, all U-Blind's products are half price. Yes, half price. U-Blind's Australia. More value for you. Head to ublinds.com.au.
Back with you on Aces TV as the Giants go to the bullpen. It's a punt 1-2-3 pitching change. Big spot in the game. The Aces trail the Giants 3-2, bottom of the 7th inning, 2 outs, and J.D. Osborne is out at second representing the tying run. The Aces' hottest hitter in Jared Dale will be the first one to face new Giants pitcher Mitch Neuenborn, a guy that the Aces have seen quite a bit of this season. And he's on to get the final out of this 7th. Well, both managers managing this as if it's a playoff game. Adelaide's already clinched a spot. They have not yet secured the division. Perth's on their tail. The Aces fighting for their playoff lives. With the loss by the Heat today, the Aces control their own destiny. If they win out, they get in.
Yeah, and that's what we've been talking about. This is like playoff baseball. You see some fans out in the All-Star bar there enjoying a Brick Lane beverage, one of the great Aces sponsors, and some kids just having fun. All ages. Fun for all ages here at the ballpark.
Great day for a Brick Lane and a ball game, I'll tell you that.
Indeed it is. Especially if the Aces can push a run across. There's a shot of the All-Star bar and people out there enjoying the afternoon.
It's a great spot to hang out for a couple innings if you're looking to get a break from your seat. Here's Dale looking for his 3rd hit of the game. Swings at the first pitch, takes a big rip. Neuenborn 3-0 with a 2.19 ERA and 11 appearances this season. 24 2/3 innings of work, 35 strikeouts, 15 walks. Opponents have had a tough time hitting him. A 146 opponent batting average. Here's Dale, who all of a sudden has his batting average up to 271. Looking to trade places with Osborne and bring home the tying run. He rips one to left. Lattimore's right there, though, and the inning is over. Well, 3 hard-hit fly balls after the single from Osborne, but they can't get him over, they can't get him in. After 7 full, the Aces trail the Giants 3-2. We'll head to the top of the 8th after this. Ed, thanks again for joining us in the booth. Always good to have you here.
Enjoyed it very much, Mike.
We'll head to the 8th after this on Aces TV.
At the Sporting Globe, we're a little different to other pubs and bars. We have more than just cooks, we have chefs. We have more than bar service, we have table service. We have more than specials, we have specialties. We have more than live sporting events, We have atmosphere. And we have more than customers, we have fans. It's more than a sports bar, it's a sporting globe.
Order your favourite meals from Light and Easy's new spring menu and enjoy amazing food, more free time and a healthier life. No shopping or cooking and no contracts or subscriptions. Just your choice of affordable, delicious meals delivered to your door. Order today.
Create the perfect look for your home with U-Blind's once-a-year stock take sale. For 2 weeks only, all U-Blind's products are half price. Yes, half price. U-Blind's Australia. More value for you. Head to ublinds.com.au.
Top of the 8th inning at Melbourne Ballpark, and Evan Rutsky is still out there, working into a 3rd inning of relief for the first time this season. Rutsky, a trusted arm out of Peter Moylan's bullpen, and he gets the middle of this Giants order. Rickson, Wingrove, Quincy Lattimore, and Anthony Kirion. Well, just based on how long Rutsky's been out there, I wonder if he's just out there for Wingrove, the leadoff man who's a left-handed hitter. The Aces do have bullpen action, although they have another lefty loosening, so we'll see what happens. But for now, Rutsky's back out there against the 3-4-5 hitters, with the Aces trailing the Giants 3-2. Aces down to their final 6 outs. Their season hangs on that. A win today would keep their playoff hopes alive. Perth's magic number to clinch a playoff spot is 1. They could have clinched that playoff spot with a win today, but Canberra, a comeback win in the finale of that series in Canberra. And now the Aces control their own destiny. If they win out, they get in. But they got to take care of business today first, down 1 in the 8th. Josh Sperber back in the booth with me. I'm Michael Marcantonini. Just had 3 fun innings with Ed Wyatt on the air. And Josh, every pitch just means that much more right now for the Aces.
Yeah, the season is as much in their control as it can be. Obviously, you don't really control your destiny if you're still, playing from behind in the standings, but the Aces just need to win. A win keeps the season alive. Canberra's done their part. The Aces just need to follow suit and finish this comeback.
Ground ball to first. Osborne says he'll take it himself. He does. Easy out, number 1 in the 8th. Well, J.D. Osborne singled to lead off the bottom of the 7th. He got to second on a wild pitch. But the next 3 batters all flew out to left, and they couldn't bring the tying run home. So like I suspected, Rutsky was out there to get Wingrove. 2 1/3 shutout frames for Evan Rutsky in his longest outing of the season. Peter Moylan will go to his bullpen. It looks like he's bringing out John Kennedy. We'll tell you more about the new pitcher on this punt 1-2-3 pitching change when we come back. We'll take another quick break on the broadcast. Keep it locked on Aces TV.
When enjoying a punt, easy does it with punt 1-2-3. Punt123.bet is your home for all your punting needs with same race multis and same game multi options, including daily promotions on all the major sporting and racing events. It's punting made easy. Get in the game with Punt 123. Visit punt123.bet or download the app today. Gamble responsibly. If gambling becomes an issue for you, call 1-800-858-858.
Create the perfect look for your home with U-Blind's once-a-year stock take sale. For 2 weeks only, all U-Blind's products are half price. Yes, half price. U-Blind's Australia. More value for you. Head to ublinds.com.au.
Back here on the broadcast on Aces TV. 1 out, no one on in the top of the 8th. The Aces bring on left-hander John Kennedy on this punt 1-2-3 pitching change. 3rd day in a row that Kennedy's out on the mound. First time this season he's done that. But late in the season, the Aces need big outs. Trusting the veteran Kennedy to be the guy to get a couple outs. Well, they trusted the veteran Rutsky to get 7 outs. He did just that. 2 1/3 shutout frames from Rutsky to keep this a one-run game. Can't say enough about the job that Evan did, Josh.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Bending, but certainly did not break. 3 hits allowed in 2 1/3, but 3 strikeouts. No walks. I mean, nothing cheap, nothing easy. And Rutsky really did his job. He's been a shutdown reliever for the Aces at the back end of that bullpen all year. And Kennedy's been the guy that they've gone to when they just needed to get outs. So it's always risky bringing a guy out for 3 straight days. But Kennedy's a vet. He's been here a while. He's won a lot with the Aces, and now they need a couple more innings from him.
41 big pitches from Rutsky out of the pen in relief of Fox, and now Kennedy's first pitch of the afternoon's outside. Well, John pitched each of the last 2 nights, but he only threw 8 pitches last night. Got 3 outs and a hold from Melbourne. 1-0 to Lattimore, and Kennedy's former teammate smacks one foul. It's 1-1. Lattimore 0 for 3, 2 flyouts and a strikeout.
And he's been busy in the field. Bunch of fly balls just hit right at him. The Aces just needed one of those to fall in the last inning.
One's over. Kennedy coming in, throwing strikes. It's 1-2. Next pitch, swing and a miss. Look at John Kennedy coming into the game and doing his thing. Retires Lattimore on 4 pitches, 2 up, 2 down here in the inning. And that brings up Anthony Kirion.
And that's exactly what you want. You know, you bring a guy in, he's pitched a lot this series. First thing he does is just attack a guy that knows him well, a guy who played with him last year, a guy who's been around in pro ball and the ABL for so long. You just attack him and get a big strikeout. Great start to the outing for John Kennedy.
Well, Lattimore, the 4-hole hitter's 0 for 4. Kirion 0 for 3 in the 5-hole. And, I was going to say 0 for 4. Well, he is now 0 for 4, reaching on the error, but he's on base nonetheless. Tough play for Dale there, but that'll go down as an E6.
That might have taken just a weird hop off the lip of off the lip of the grass where it connects to the turf. A tough play, though, deep in the infield for Jared Dale, but you just don't want to put a base runner on with 2 outs. The good news for the Aces, though, it brings a lefty-lefty matchup for John Kennedy.
Kennedy really tough against left-handed hitters. Lefties hitting just 167 against Kennedy this season. Righties have been much better at 367. But John, a guy who can get anybody out, not just a lefty specialist. 0-1 as he works quickly. Sweeping curve misses outside. Kennedy 6 feet 7 inches tall. Between Kennedy and Brian Flynn and Rutsky, a few other guys on this Aces team, I mean, there's some serious height. This could be a basketball roster.
I think Flynn's a certified power forward.
Yeah.
Can lock him in there. I could see Kennedy's a swing man.
I mean, if there was a pickup basketball game, nobody's driving on these guys
No.
in the paint. 1-2, curveball in the dirt. Runner goes for second. No throw from Lavarnway. Kirion advances on the wild pitch.
Might have had a chance if he threw it, but just playing it safe is Lavarnway there, because worst case scenario, that sails out into center field and maybe even brings in a run. And that's the last thing the Aces need. They're in full comeback mode. They can't let Adelaide score anymore.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The next pitch. Tap to the right side. It's been an intense game the entire way, close the entire way. The Aces trailed 3-0. It's now 3-2. Swing and a miss. Good one from Kennedy there. Another strikeout for the lefty, and he does his job. Comes in, faces 3 batters, gets 2 very big outs. And he sends the Aces back into the dugout, still down 1, with a chance to do some damage in the bottom of the 8th. We'll head there after this on Aces TV.
Oh, we've been there for every game of 425. When Meatloaf overcooked it and Gregan saved that try. Then Brownie takes one for the team and Bradbury skated by. This golden crusty pastry watched as Taylor kicked the sky. When Ben Simmons makes a 3, we give a big high five. What future sport looks like just won't be right without a pie. Oh, what a lovely pie, me mates are 4 and 25. Oi!
One Love is there for the moments with the people you love the most. To share the highs and the lows together. It's the one for all people, all times, and all places. Brick Lane's One Love Pale Ale. It's the one for all.
Evan Rutsky and John Kennedy, couple veteran lefties that the Aces trust in the back end of the bullpen to get big outs. Well, they combine to get the 3 outs in the top of the 8th, and here we are in the bottom half of the 8th. 2-3-4 due up for the Aces, Glendinning, Skoll, and George, as the Aces play from behind. A win today would keep the Aces season alive. A loss would eliminate them from playoff contention. So a lot riding on these final 6 outs that the Aces have to play with. Glendinning will start things up. First pitch from Mitch Noonborn misses outside, and the count's 1-0.
And with this due up here, you have 3 of the best hitters for the Aces this season. They really need to get a run, at least 1 run on the board.
Glendinning starts it up with a line drive single to center, and the tying run's aboard once again.
That's a good start.
Osborne reached leading off the 7th. He got the 2nd with no outs on a wild pitch. For the next 3 batters, although they hit the ball hard to left field, all 3 plays made by Quincy Lattimore. The hardest hit of the 3, Jared Dale's screaming line drive out to Lattimore, was right at him. Off the bat, figured it had a chance to get down, but it did not. Tying run at first, go-ahead run at the dish. Here's Skoll, who's 1 for 3 with a single. Giants play for 2 in this modified shift. Skoll swings through a fastball. It's 0-1.
And he's swinging those heavy hacks. Really looking to give the Aces the lead with 1 swing. A big power hitter. All the Aces need is just to keep getting base hits.
Skoll's driven in 4 this year. 7 extra base hits for him. It'd be a big time for number 8. Short lead for Glendinning at first. He doesn't want to get picked off. Wingrove holding him on at the bag. There's Newborn's 1-1. That's outside. Well, the drama that's built in this ballpark over the last few innings, it's something we haven't felt in a while. But it's that time of year. Regular season baseball with a playoff atmosphere. Middle of the Aces order due up, down 1 with the tying run on base. 2-1. Skoll swings over a changeup. 2-1 or 2-2.
And a really good pitch by Noonborn there. Skoll was looking for something hard, found a breaking ball, and was a bit out in front of it.
Neuenborn looking for the inning ender. Here, 0-1, make it 0-2.
He's had a lot of success with those low diving breaking balls. The Aces seem set on finding fastballs, and Neuenborn's responding with some changes, with some curves, things diving low and away for the Aces hitters.
2-strike pitch, it's down. A good take there from Burke. Tough take.
And there it is again, those low diving breaking balls. That's what Neuenborn continues to go back to here to try and get that swinging strike 3.
Aces down to their final 4 outs. Burke looking to extend this thing. 1-2, it's down again, another good take. Well, we've seen the pace slow down over the last few innings. In a one-run contest, you'd expect nothing less, especially with the playoff implications for both teams. Adelaide looking to lock up the division. The Aces looking to keep their hopes alive.
Adelaide 2 games up on, well, a game and a half now up on Perth. If the score holds, they'd finish this 2 games ahead of the Heat, who have been surging late in the season.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, man on second. Pitch to Burke. Ground ball up the middle, a base hit. Here comes Glendinning. The throw to the plate from Carr. It's high and late, and the Aces tie the game. An RBI single for Chris Burke. We're knotted at 3 in the bottom of the 8th, and this crowd is loving it.
2 outs, 2 strikes, and Chris Burke continues his on-base streak in the biggest way. You don't need a big hit there. All you need is a little something like this. You see the pitch, you take it right back up the middle, get the barrel on it, and Chris Burke delivers once again. Massive hit.
Picking the best time of year to get hot at the plate. Burke continues to produce for this Aces team, and here's Whitefield. Go-ahead run out at second in the bottom of the 8th. We're tied at 3. Pitch sent in the air, shallow center. Who wants it? Ward's out there, calls for it, makes the grab, and the inning is over. But a big inning for the Aces. They tie the game on Chris Burke's 2-out RBI single up the middle. We're knotted at 3 after 8 full. We'll head to the top of the 9th after this, where Josh will take back over on the play-by-play on Aces TV.
But the goals always remain an extraordinary product and customer experience with good attention to detail.
For over 40 years, All Green Nursery has been providing the communities of Melbourne's western and northern suburbs the best advice and results for their gardens. Our retail centre, indoor plant space and expansive nursery floor showcases over 150 varieties of vibrant plants, most of them grown locally right here in Werribee South. We have qualified horticulturists on site to help assist with all your gardening needs, and our home decor section is stocked with a full range of quality options. All Green Nursery, your local plant nursery and garden centre. Visit our sites in Hoppers Crossing and Epping. All-Star Access Hire are your access equipment specialists. We have an extensive range of state-of-the-art equipment, and we pride ourselves on delivering outstanding customer service. We have the youngest fleet of equipment in Victoria, and we are consistently adding new machines. We get to know our customers and form partnerships with them. This video is of our partnership with the Victorian Government at Reservoir Station. All-Star Access Hire are proud sponsors of the Melbourne Aces and our All-Star Bar.
Top of the 9th inning here in Melbourne after a huge ace for the Aces. 3 runs down. They get 2 back in the 5th. And then 1 run here in the 8th, coming off the bat of Chris Burke. Tie ball game, and Dan McGraw on to try and preserve the tie. 1-0 count to Jordan McArdle. McGraw in his 5th game for the Aces since coming back from injury, as McArdle fouls away a slider 1-1. We said it in the pregame show. Save, win, save in McGraw's 4 games off the injured list. He's looking to continue that trend in what would be a win if the Aces can walk it off in the bottom half. 2-1 to McArdle, but still work to do, needing to get through a bottom third of the order that has been dangerous tonight. 2-1. Breaking ball on the outside corner for called strike 2. McArdle and Spence have each homered. January's 0 for 3, but 2 big power bats are the first 2 hitters in the 9th. 2-2. Bouncing on the plate, and the count runs full. Payoff pitch, just missing low, and the go-ahead run comes to first base for the Giants. A leadoff walk to McArdle, and that'll bring up Liam Spence, who's had a big game at the plate. A homer and a double are his last 2 at-bats, but he was picked off at third base in a very bizarre sequence. But a good one for Aces fans. They had the Aces had Nick Ward caught in a rundown, and he ended up being safe back at first. Spence was thrown out at third base by J.D. Osborne as we welcome Aussie Mike back to the broadcast. It's a 1-0 now to Spence. McArdle, not a stealing threat on first, and you imagine Adelaide will be a little more conservative. The 1-0, hit up the middle, Whitefield charging, and he's going to settle under it for an easy first down.
That's a big out for McGraw to come back after the leadoff walk. Just limit the damage. You know, things can snowball when you walk the leadoff batter. That didn't happen there, and Dan's been so good and so efficient lately. Definitely trust him to get the job done here.
And we've been saying it the last couple of times. He has been nothing short of dominant since coming back from the injured list. In the last 4 games he's pitched since returning from injury, the Aces have won all 4, and he has been one of the pitchers of record.
Call him Money McGraw. That's his new nickname. Save, win, save in his last 4.
Looking to add a win here as he goes to first. A lethal pickoff move, but McArdle is not fooled. 0-1 to January.
It's one of the best pickoff moves I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a lot easier as a lefty, but it is so deceptive. I mean, he picked off a runner to end the game the other night.
0-1. Breaking ball missing outside, 1-1. January has struggled this series. Only time he has reached base was when hit by a pitch by John Kennedy in the 7th yesterday. 1-1. Definitely went around there. No appeal needed, and it's a called strike 2. McGraw's lowered the ERA from a little bit over 5 to 4.09 in his 4 games since he picked up that injury against Brisbane. Now the 1-2. Breaking ball bounces into Lavarnway's glove, 2-2. The due up for the Aces next inning includes Lavarnway, Osborne, Lavarnway, and Khalil. Will lead off the 9th for Melbourne. McGraw trying to get out of the top of the 9th unscathed. 2-2. Just missing outside. I'm not sure where it did miss, but a full count with 1 out to Ryan January. The payoff pitch. High chopper foul. We'll do it again. And you really don't want to walk the guy here. You have the leadoff walk. Already not the best way to start an inning. And McGraw, a guy who's been so efficient in his move to the bullpen. would love to just get January out.
Biggest pitch of the game right now, and as this game's gone on, we've said that multiple times, X is the biggest pitch right now.
There's the payoff, and it's ball 4. So 2 base runners now for the Giants, both by the way of a free pass. And that's going to bring up Nick Ward, who's 2 for 4 today, including a solo homer in the first.
Doesn't look like there's any bullpen action for the Aces, so this is McGraw's inning. And with a couple more lefties due up, 3 more in a row, this is a game where it made sense for Peter Moylan to unleash his lefties. This is the 3rd one that he's used out of the bullpen. This is why they have these lefties on the staff. Match up with anybody.
First pitch in there for a strike on the outside corner to Ward. And the Aces are one of the few teams with multiple lefties coming out of their bullpen. 4 righties, 4 lefties coming in relief. They definitely have the most balanced pitching staff of any ABL team. The 0-1 catches the outside corner, 0-2. McGraw's back on track.
It's pretty unheard of nowadays to have that many lefties out of the pen, but it just makes matching up so much easier. And when one guy doesn't have it one night, or when one guy's down one night because he's pitched the last 2 days or whatever, there's just so many more options.
And McGraw, even a guy who moved from the starting rotation. 0-2. High strike. Did he go? He did not. And it's ball 1 instead. 1-2 to Ward. Part of that base running mix-up, caught in a rundown his last time up. But he ended up being safe, and the lead runner, Spence, was retired. Wave and a whiff, strike 3. A huge punch out for Dan McGraw, and there's 2 gone here in the ninth.
Yeah, that's huge. Especially to get the out via the strikeout. Take a look at the replay. Fastball up in the zone, just blew it right by Ward. Because if that ball gets put in play, you just never know what happens, and you just take a lot out of the equation by getting a strikeout. That's huge for McGraw.
First pitch to Walters, cut on and miss for a strike, and McGraw just looks locked in now. And this was an interesting substitution. It makes me think that there was an injury to Martinez, because he's normally not a guy you'd be pinch hit for, particularly for Walters, who struggled this series, and now is quickly down 0-2.
That's a great point. We don't have the full details, but yeah, it's one of those where in the moment didn't make a whole lot of sense, especially at that time of the game. Middle innings, close game.
Could prove to the Aces' advantage here. 0-2. Just missing outside with the breaker. The crowd behind him. 1-2. Popped high in the air. Still in the infield for Dale. He's going to tiptoe the green turf. He keeps coming in and makes the grab. And that does it for the top of the ninth. McGraw lets 2 on base with 2 walks. And now it all comes down to this. Don't go anywhere. Tie game, bottom of the ninth. Coming up here on Aces TV. The Aces season hanging in the balance. And what a way for the Aces to try and keep it going. 3-3 to score, bottom of the ninth inning, and the Adelaide Giants will make a punt 1-2-3 pitching change. Todd Van Steensel will come on to replace Mitch Noonborn and look to put this game into extra innings for the second time this series. This is not the first time we've seen Van Steensel, though, and the Aces were able to get some runs off him the last time out.
Yeah, the last time Van Steensel was on the mound, the Aces were out there celebrating as Van Steensel was walking back to the visiting clubhouse. But he's been one of the better arms in the ABL this season, a trusted back-end arm for the Giants. They like him in this situation. I'm sure on the Aces side, they're happy to see him again because of the success they had against him the other day. And I got to say, it looks like he's wearing shorts out there. Look how high up the pants are rolled with the socks going over the kneecap.
The socks are above his knee.
That's like,
I don't think I've ever seen that.
You know, I immediately think to Hunter Pence, what he used to do. I mean, it looked like he was wearing shorts out there, but even he didn't roll the pants up as high as what Van Steensel's got going on right now.
I don't think I've seen anyone roll the pants up that high. And I don't think anyone will be able to turn the volume up high enough if the Aces can walk off on Todd Steensel for the second time this series. And they've got a big duo to do it. J.D. Osborne, Ryan Lavarnway, George Khalil. That is the do-up for the Aces. And Osborne has been red hot at the plate. 3 for 3, 2 singles, a run scored, and a double. And he's looking to continue his hit streak here. First pitch, a breaking ball outside, 1-0. Speed-wise, it doesn't bode super well for the Aces. But you have to remember that Jacob Robson is still on the bench. A powerful bat and a great base runner. 1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1. And I saw Dale getting ready. It does look like Khalil has his helmet on in the dugout. But I wouldn't be surprised if Robson is used as a pinch hitter at one point. Maybe they're saving him for extra innings, but that is still an ace in the hole that Peter Moylan can play. 1-1. Inside, ball 2.
Yeah, Robson's such a versatile part of this Aces club. I mean, not only can he play all 3 outfield positions and he can swing the bat, but he's such a force on the base pass. You know, maybe they use him as a pinch runner. Maybe they use him as a pinch hitter and let him hit his way on. Who knows?
The 2-1. Missing low, 3-1. A walk certainly as good as a hit here. And Osborne is 1 miss away from reaching base a 4th time and putting the go-ahead run on first. Van Steensel was the pitcher of record when the Aces got that walk-off win on Friday night. Now the 3-1. Hit the other way, foul, and it'll be a full count. Lavarnway, 2 home runs already, one of them here at Melbourne Ballpark. He's awaiting in the on-deck circle. Osborne, second on the team with 4 long balls. And his 13 RBIs are 3rd on the team. Big payoff coming from Van Steensel. Osborne lets it go. Appeal to first. He's on first with a walk. I didn't think they needed the appeal, but exactly what the Aces wanted. The go-ahead run on first. Osborne looking to extend the Aces season. And Ryan Lavarnway, the Aces' newest acquisition, is up at the plate to try and drive him in.
What a game from J.D. Osborne. I love the approach, and now they go to Robson to pinch run. So they do decide to use him as a pinch runner and let somebody get on and then use the wheels to their advantage. So I like the way Peter Moylan's managing this game. He has done an excellent job of mixing and matching with his bullpen, using his bench strategically. But J.D. Osborne, 4 plate appearances, reaches 4 times, 3 hits and a walk.
And defensively, it'll look complicated in the book, but there's a very easy switch that can keep Robson in the game as well. Lavarnway swings to the first pitch, strike 1. I can easily see George moving to first. Robson will DH, put Glendinning on third.
Well, you can't.
Problem solved.
You can't switch to DH, but
you should.
You should be able to. But yeah, George.
Yeah.
That would be the move to move George to first. Unless they want to move Burke to first and put Robson in the outfield.
Also could happen. Off goes Robson, but Lavarnway fouls it away, 0-2. Burke, a guy who's played catcher before, so first base likely in his wheelhouse, even if he has not played it with the Aces yet.
I mean, they could move Glendinning into the infield and lose the DH, but then I don't know how that works with maybe in the I just don't know. We'll see how it plays out. You could bring Glendinning into the field.
0-2 the count. Robson on first, trying to steal on the last pitch. We'll see if he stays put. 0-2. Missing outside. The ball gets in front of the catcher, but Robson will stay on first. It's a 1-2 to Lavarnway. He flied out to left in his only appearance, and all 3 outs in the 7th inning were courtesy of Quincy Lattimore. A huge major league vet. Maybe the most experienced player in terms of MLB service time in the entire ABL, with the exception of Josh Reddick. 10 years, 8 big league teams, 13 big league organizations. Now the 1-2. Lavarnway pops it up, foul down the first base side. Van Steensel lets it go to Wingrove, who makes the grab for the out. One gone. And you take a look at the replay there. Good communication by Rickson Wingrove.
Yeah, that's tough with Lavarnway heading down the line. Van Steensel trying to get out of the way. Wingrove making the grab. You know, I don't know that they would do it in a tie game with as much as this game means, but I'd love to see them gamble with a hit and run right here. Khalil handles the bat well, can spray one to the opposite field. Robson runs well.
We saw work to perfection to get that run across. But Khalil up with 1 out, and the speedy Robson on first. Van Steensel set. The pitch. Inside, ball 1. And we're also just kind of waiting to see when Jacob Robson is sent towards second base. His steal attempt was foiled by a foul ball, but you'd expect him to go again.
A straight steal would make more sense than a hit and run, but I just like the idea of gambling this late in the season. I mean, why not?
1-0. Appeal to the bases umpire. Just eaten by Ryan Harder. He says that Khalil went around. It's 1-1.
Yeah, that's this point in the game, tie game, 9th inning. I would have liked him to ask for help there instead of making the call himself. I mean, that's close. He might have went around. That's close, but normally you'd want the home plate umpire to ask for help on that.
A tough call, but it's 1-1 to Khalil. Robson checked back to first by Van Steensel. He's in there easily. Robson second on the Aces in stolen bases, behind only Aaron Whitefield. 8 swipes, caught twice. The 1-1. High and tight, 2-1.
Well, you know Khalil's going to work a good at-bat here. I mean, he's done a great job of working the count the last few games and just working quality ABs in the 9-hole, and he's been able to turn the lineup over and get himself on base for the top of the order and help this thing keep going.
And we've seen so much improvement in his at-bats over the course of the season as well. 2-1. Robson thought about it, skied into foul territory, 2-2. Because at the beginning of the year, you saw Khalil had a little bit of trouble with the fastball. He wasn't getting his timing right a lot, but towards the end of the season, he's become a really, really solid contributor in the lower half of that lineup.
He really has. I mean, that's a great way to put it. Just a really solid contributor. I think if you were looking for 3 words to describe a player like George Khalil, that's it. I mean, he does a lot of things well.
2-2. Outside, and it's a full count once again.
Really fundamentally sound player. And what I mean by that is just, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's so smooth in the field. He works good at bats. A piece that you'd really like to have on any club.
Full count. Robson is expected to go. 1 out. Tie game. Robson goes. Ball 4 to Khalil. and the go-ahead run is on second base.
Well, things are working out in the Aces' favor right now. Leadoff man reaches. They were able to make the move and go to Robson to pinch run. And now your 9-hole hitter works the walk to bring up the hottest hitter on the team.
It was this matchup that brought a walk-off victory for the Aces 2 nights ago. 10th inning, also 2 runners on. Jared Dale and Todd Van Steensel. Dale delivered on a 2-1 count, roped a line drive into left center that Carr had no chance to get. Carr is still in center field for Adelaide, and once again, 2 on, 1 out for Jared Dale. Instead of runners on the corners, it's runners on first and second, and one of the best base runners on the Aces is on second base, and that's Jacob Robson.
These are the intense moments we've been waiting for all season. Heart beating, goosebumps. Everybody on the edge of their seat. I love it.
1 out here in the 9th. Van Steensel deals. Dale right to the third baseman, and there is out number 2. And another well-hit ball by Jared Dale, but right at a Giants defender.
Yeah, off the bat, I'm thinking that's going between short and third, but just didn't completely square it up. I love him swinging first pitch right there, trying to jump on a fastball. Even though Van Steensel's walked a couple in the inning, after walking a batter, you have to figure he's getting fastball there. He did, and he hit it hard, just right at a guy.
A little bit early on the swing, but he brings up the Aces' leading hitter. Robbie Glendening leads the Aces in almost every single hitting category and has a chance to be the hero in his first season in Melbourne. 2 outs, 2 on, tie ball game in the 9th. Outside, ball 1. And you got to think Steensel's going to be a little extra careful with Glendening, who's already reached base 3 times, but once on a fielder's choice. He scored the tying run in the 8th. He could deliver the winning run in the 9th. Van Steensel looks at second. He's set to 1-0. High fastball, 2-0.
Everybody in both dugouts is up on the railing. Everybody in the seats engaged.
My head's hanging out the window.
This is awesome right here. I love the vibes in the ballpark right now.
You can feel the tension in a tight game like this. 2-0, Glendening goes. Appeal to second for safety, and Andrew Bell makes it 2-1.
Well, that's another aggressive approach right there. 2-0, he was geared up for a fastball. He didn't get it. That's okay, though. 2-0, you can be aggressive like that. Still has 2 more strikes to play with, and Robson, who runs well at second, should score on anything to the outfield.
You imagine he'll be trying regardless.
How about a single through that hole between first and second? Big hole over there right now.
Shifted to the left to Glendening's pull side. 2-1. Fouled away. Did that hit Skoll in the on-deck circle?
Got him, yeah.
That might have ricocheted off of Jake Skoll. He's fine, but we'll take a look at it here.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. If it hit him, it didn't do much damage. Hard, too. Skoll's a pretty big guy.
The ball's probably in more pain than he is.
We're 1 strike away from extra innings and 1 run away from another walk-off. The 2-2. Fouled away. Souvenir for a lucky fan, and a kid gets it in the front row. That's what we like to see. We'd like to see a ball be a souvenir for someone in the Giants bullpen, though.
I was just about to say. That would work. It'd be nice if one of those outfielders gets the ball, but on a hop.
Yeah. 2-2 again. Van Steensel deals. High fastball, and it's 3-2.
And now the runners will be off on the pitch. Full count coming up. 2 outs, bottom 9. I mean, this is a dream scenario right here to be a part of.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Now a single, assuming the runners go, a single would win it.
Yeah. They'll be off on the pitch.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ball 4. The bases are full of aces. Glendinning on first, Khalil on second, the go-ahead run on third, and Jake Skoll up at the plate. Skoll himself was robbed of a walk-off on Friday. He hit a hard line drive out to left center, and Jared Carr left his feet to send that game to extra innings.
Van Steensel's not sharp today. 3 walks here in the inning. He's really had to labor to get the first 2 outs. You know, I'm hoping those are the only 2 outs he gets tonight.
And he's got nowhere to put Skoll, who has worked deep in counts every single at bat in this game. First pitch. Skoll lets it go, called strike.
Well, that's a really important pitch from the Adelaide perspective for Van Steensel to come back and throw a strike after another walk to load the bases.
Van Steensel has thrown now 25 pitches, 12 for strikes.
He's coming fastball again, up in the zone.
Here's the 0-1. Missed outside, count even.
Well, and it wasn't even just a miss, it was a bad miss.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't competitive.
A third walk would still end it, or a fourth walk would still end it.
You know, now that I'm looking at the close-up of Van Steensel, I think he legitimately is wearing baseball shorts. Like, I think they're cut as baseball shorts. I don't think they're pants.
He cut off right under the knee. 1-1 to Skoll. The pitch. Sliced high and foul, 1-2. A breakdown of Skoll's at-bats this game, though. He singled on a 3-1 count in the first. Grounded to first on a 2-2 count in the fourth. And then his last 2 at-bats, he worked the counts full, but struck out. You imagine if he gets in that situation, he'd be a lot more patient.
He always sees a lot of pitches.
Yeah.
He does a great job of working the count, and a lot of times he works it in his favor. Right now it's in Van Steensel's favor, but I mean, with the bases loaded and the winning run at third, you know, I don't think anything's in Van Steensel's favor.
2 outs, though. Bases loaded. 1-2. Missed outside, and that almost escaped past January.
So he's got 1 more to play with right here, and, you know, it hasn't been very often in this inning that he's thrown back-to-back strikes, if at all, that I can remember. At least back-to-back strikes that were taken, not swung at, but, man, this is intense right here.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Aces season hanging in the balance. The 2-2. Outside, and the count is full.
He's going to walk him. He's going to walk him, I'm telling you.
I'd like to see that.
He's not missing close to the zone. I mean, these are balls out of the hand.
3 walks in this inning already. That's how Osborne got on. That's how Khalil got on. That's how Glendinning got on. A third straight full count to Skoll. The fans behind him. 1 more miss wins it for Melbourne. Van Steensel, the payoff. Inside, ball 4. A walk-off walk. And the Aces stay alive. Walk on into victory, Melbourne. Off goes the Gatorade, and the Aces with an epic comeback win.
3 straight wins for the first time since late November. This team picked a perfect time to get hot again. Wow. And to take 3 of 4 from Adelaide after the Giants swept the Aces in round 3, that's big time. Look, I know this Adelaide team's already going to the playoffs, but the Aces making it a lot tougher on them to clinch this division, and they're keeping their own season alive.
1 more game at home. That is Tuesday against Geelong. Possibly setting up a winner-take-all series in Perth. How amazing would that be?
It's nuts, and I can't say that I'm surprised that the Aces prolonged their season to this point, because we've known all year that they've played a ton of close games. A lot of those close games haven't fallen their way, but lately they're finding ways to win these close games, and another one-run win. The Aces have now played 17 games this season that have been decided by 2 runs or less. They're 9-8 in those games.
Things seem to start breaking the Aces' way just at the right time. You gotta love it. But now, it's literally win or go home. There's no other way to put it. If the Aces win the next 5 games, they are in the playoffs. We'll take a look now at how this game started, because at the beginning, it did not go the Aces' way. Nick Ward led things off with a solo jack, and that made it 1-0. It was not the last home run we'd see from Adelaide. It was Jordan McArdle again. We had to wait till the 5th to see another one. 3 homers in his last 3 games for McArdle, but solo homers, except for one of them.
Exactly. I talked about it a couple times on the broadcast. If those are 2 3-run shots, that's a big deal. Solo homers, not a big deal.
Another solo home run from Liam Spence. His first in Melbourne ballpark made it 3-0. And going back-to-back with McArdle. That was the first pitch Spence saw in that 5th inning. And things were looking a little bit grim for the Aces, but they rebounded quickly. Bottom of the 5th inning, J.D. Osborne was just massive for the Aces. He reached base all 4 times, and he got on, eventually securing the winning run. And that pickoff, something else that broke the Aces' way. Kept both bases on. Khalil drove in a run, and that was the first of the game for Melbourne.
And it's about time that things started breaking the Aces' way. You figure at some point they were going to, but all the credit to the Aces, because they made their own breaks. I mean, that's really the theme of today, is they made their own breaks. Timely hits, guys getting on base. That pickoff was huge. And the pitching, shutting it down. Look, they held a team with 21 wins to 3 runs again today. I mean, it's just impressive what this team is doing right now.
The rest of the defense looked pretty good, too. There was a really sneaky play. Another thing that broke Melbourne's way. How rare did you pick off a guy at third in a rundown between first and second? But this was huge. Chris Burke extended the hit streak with an RBI single.
2-out hitting. It's just situational baseball right there. Look at Glendinning fired up, the chest bump with Darryl George. I love the energy around this team right now.
And you got to love this. Might not be the prettiest way to do it, but a walk-off walk ends the game, keeps the season going for the Aces. 5 more wins, and the 2-time defending champs are looking to defend their crown.
I love the Gatorade bath. It kind of missed, but
got more of George than Skull.
Now it's just a lot of cleanup over there on first base. But I love it. The vibes are high right now. Man, what a fun game.
The Aces come storming back after dropping the first game of the series 7-0. 3 huge victories and another win for Dan McGraw, who he just clearly needs to pitch every game for the rest of the season. 5 times he's come out of the bullpen this season. 5 times he has been one of the pitchers of record.
Yeah, he did a great job, especially working around 2 walks. He did what Van Steensel didn't do and was bear down after a couple walks and find his stuff. Now, Van Steensel obviously just did not have his stuff today, but McGraw was able to get through it, and that's just a big-time 3 outs from him to do it in the 9th. And the guys that came in before him, too, Evan Rutsky, 2 1/3 shutout frames. John Kennedy, 2 big outs. Jack Fox starting things, 5 innings, gave up the 3 runs, but only solo homers. Just go down the list. Everybody contributed today.
And just a complete game. These are the kinds of things we've been waiting for Melbourne. Big games, big-time players stepping up in big-time spots, and a 3-game streak for the Aces, who are getting hot at the right time. There will still be more baseball at Melbourne Ballpark, and we're going to need more crowds like this. 5,000 plus coming to Melbourne Ballpark in round 9, a record for an individual round. You got to think the fans played a big part in this game, too.
No doubt. I mean, there's no coincidence. The Aces win 3 in a row against a really tough team. First 3-game winning streak since November. It's really impressive and really cool to see what a crowd can do for a home team. And we saw home field advantage play a role in this series victory.
Well, we're hoping for more of that. On Tuesday, another huge divisional game for the Aces. A washout game that is months in the making. Aces take on Geelong, Korea to keep their postseason hopes alive. Win, and they stay alive, and it would set up a series where the Aces would need to sweep the Perth Heat to get themselves back in the ABL playoffs. Thanks again to the fans who came all weekend long. We hope to see you more on Tuesday as the Aces take on GK. Make sure to go to melbourneaces.com.au/tickets to pick up your tickets and memberships for both GK and next season. But we will definitely see you on Tuesday, and we'll hopefully have an exciting game of baseball here on Aces TV. Pregame will start at around 6:50 for a 7 p.m. first pitch. Until then, though, we'll be waiting with gritted teeth and a whole lot of excitement, ready for the Aces to continue their playoff push.
I'm fired up for Tuesday. It's going to come down to if the Aces can win that game, and then you can't ask for anything more than going to Perth for round 10 with that series meaning something. It's an exciting time here in Melbourne. Like it's a lot different than what's happened the last 2 full ABL seasons in Melbourne, where the Aces ran through the regular season, were in control heading into the playoffs. And this time they're playing from behind, but now they control their destiny, and that's all you can ask for this late in the year.
And the Aces look to continue their winning ways. 3 straight wins. Hopefully they'll make it 4 straight at home against Geelong. Make sure to come out to Melbourne Ballpark for a huge, huge conclusion to what is, I guess, round 1. Until then, though, thank you all for watching. A big thanks to our Sportscast Australia crew. Excited to work with them for another game tomorrow, or Tuesday. And we hope to see you guys either on the stream or at the ballpark. Thank you all for tuning in. For Ed Wyatt, for Mike Mark Antonini, I'm Josh Sperber. We'll see you guys on Tuesday.